Happy Friday! And also the last day of my vacation.
But one vacation ends, another one begins. Psycho.
Welcome in Psycho, congrats on being first and happy vacation. I hand over the baton to you.
Stop, you committed a crime. You started with first, but Dark Lord came in with second, first of all. So congratulations, and then congratulations for being first.
I'm sorry for saying it out of order, I'm bad at reading.
You cannot say it out of order. That is not a thing. No.
It's gonna be a great stream, I can already tell you that. Didn't even make it through the intro without bickering and fighting. I'm gonna drink to that.
Now you may continue.
Thank you. Psycho, do you have any vacation plans other than your Christmas dinner with family? I had a couple things I wanted to do the 2 weeks that I was off, and I did one of them. I had so much stuff that I wrote down for myself, like I want to work on this, I want to work on that, I want to work on this, and I did nothing until yesterday when I started taking care of my passport. And Tifa making clinky sounds.
I would like that spoon back at some point.
Yeah, when you deserve it. You know how I am with gentle, annoying sounds coming from my side.
Just don't listen to it. Or I move it. Wait, give me the spoon. I will stir it from here so it's in front of you and not from the side.
I feel like that's worse. Somehow. No. But on the other hand, vacations also exist to just chill and relax. And I've done plenty of that. And I can't complain about that. So, all in all, good 2 weeks. Stayed home for 5 days. Nice.
That sounds very nice.
On my backlog. Good.
Those are
plan.
Very nice chillax days. I would not mind.
You're getting a nice, relaxed, chill day tomorrow.
Yeah, but I still need to go outside.
I'm gonna be gone all day tomorrow. I'm going last-minute Christmas shopping with my dad. And Tifa, in her infinite wisdom, was like, no, I'm not coming along.
Yeah, for once, I'm smart. You know, I realized there's the option to say no, and I just went for it.
Listen, just because you can say no doesn't mean you should.
Oh no, you can have a father-son day. And they're going a bit further away too, so it's like this whole road trip. And it's like, I'm not gonna sit in the car for so many hours and then drive back on the same day. Like, I already dislike driving in cars. So I'm not gonna do this to myself. And instead, I was planning on staying home all day, playing video games. And then Jack's like, oh, I need you to buy me something tomorrow. Fine, I'll go out and then have lunch.
Last Saturday before Christmas, good luck. Yeah, we'll need it.
That too.
This was supposed to happen 3 weeks ago, but it didn't work out that way because when my dad had to take care of other things in the weekend and when I couldn't the other weeks. So here we are. 3 days before Christmas in Germany and now we're going shopping. It's gonna be amazing.
I didn't even think of that yet, but yeah, that's gonna be war.
That's why we start early.
I mean, that is true.
All the energy I had that I wanted to bring into the stream today has just evaporated now that you reminded me of that. To be fair, it would happen eventually anyway when I just realized to look at the calendar and go like, oh wait, it's Christmas in a few days. Yeah, no.
I also realized we didn't buy anything for like dinner and stuff already for next week.
Correct. That's why you get to do that tomorrow.
I'm not doing that tomorrow.
Then we're not gonna eat anything over the holidays.
You can eat... We can have ramen on Sunday.
We're out of ramen actually.
No, we still have ramen. We
Not
100% still have ramen.
Not enough.
I mean, not enough. We still have several packages.
When was the last time you checked?
Yesterday. We still have several packages.
I ate one.
Sure thing. We are having ramen on Sunday. And then on Monday we can go shopping. During lunch break.
On Monday we're working.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying during lunch break. I am not shopping tomorrow.
I will not make it in time for my lunch break to not have to be extended because it's gonna be hell.
I'll take a longer one. not
You need
happening.
to buy a whole box of ramen again. That's what we do too. Yeah. Because our local Asian store, I think is the brand name, has this thing where if you buy them in a box, which has like 20 to 30 in them, depending on the brand, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
You get a 10% discount, and the stuff doesn't go bad. I mean, it will eventually, but not in the time we take to eat it. So I'll just buy one of those. I get more, and I pay less.
I see. We have same strategies.
Smartness. Buy in bulk whenever you can, people. It saves money.
Yeah, we always buy this kimchi ramen. I forgot which brand.
I'm gonna look it up because they can get the not an ad for free. Kimchi ramen.
There's the first one.
It is Nongshim kimchi instant noodles.
Those are so good.
It's a red and orange package, and they're actually vegan. They started labeling them like a year or two ago.
Okay.
They are the nicest ramen I've ever eaten. We don't buy anything else ever since we tried those. It's so good.
Those are also very nice to twist, like tweak with like a bit of cheese.
I love
or
twisting my ramen, and that's totally not TOS what I'm doing right now.
With a bit of cheese in it, or a bit of gochujang.
Or
can
both.
do or both, which is even better.
Yes.
Yeah, ramen tomorrow is actually, or Sunday is actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's the best emergency food. Have no time. Oh, ramen. Can add some tofu to it, some eggs, vegetables, whatever you want.
Full MasterChef course.
Ah,
Like, who needs to
dirty.
spend 6 hours in the kitchen to make a dish if you can just heat up some vegetables, get some protein going, and make ramen, and then ta-da! Perfect food. Warms you up. The one thing I have to say about that stuff we buy is Tifa tried it before me because back then it wasn't labeled vegan. The first bite or the first like sip of the soup base is weird if you never had it. But after the second one, it is addicting. Addictive. It's so good.
very tasty.
It is so good.
What's your go-to ramen, Psycho?
Everybody. Only you get to talk to us, Psycho.
I'm just asking directly because now Psycho also mentioned buying a whole box. But of course, anyone can weigh in.
No. Duck flavor. I never had that even when I was still eating meat.
Oh, same actually.
I always was a chicken guy for some reason.
Oh, when I was young, I was a sucker for the shrimp ones.
You still are. You just don't buy it anymore.
I don't know if it's still good. Like last time I wanted to buy the shrimp flavor.
Nah, we're good.
But then, it felt risky.
Wait, shut the fuck up. Benjima, do I take it as you don't like ramen? Because...
Oh, ramen.
I mean, to each their own, more for me, for everybody that doesn't like it, but really? Really?
You don't hear that very often.
Also, hello Benjima, happy Friday, how are you
doing? Oh.
That's what you get.
Not
I'm
a
not a
noodle
noodle guy.
Okay.
I do like rice noodles.
What about potato noodles? Oh, there's also this other brand that I really like. I don't know what it's called or even what flavor it has, but it says chewy chewy.
It has like
on
a
the
speech
package.
bubble on the package. It says
chewy chewy.
It's kind of cute.
Because the noodles are a bit chewier, and those noodles are actually the best ever, but I think it's potato noodles. I'm not
I
actually
think there's
sure.
potato starch in there, which apparently makes them chewier. Cannot confirm, not now, because I don't eat those.
So now the brand is just called Chewy Chewy. Sometimes I feel like Chewy Chewy
That's
noodles.
not the brand name.
No, that's why I say it's now just called Chewy Chewy.
No, you said it's now the brand name, and I think that can legally get us into trouble. So no.
Well, it's now the Tifa name.
Better.
Chewy Chewy.
Benjima can eat all the calorie made. You know, I'm so brain rotted by Metal Gear Solid that I always wanted to try one of those, but I never went through the process of just importing one because I don't think you can get them here. I've always wanted to eat one. Apparently they don't taste good. No, Tifa, I'm looking it up for you. Look.
Hey, I pulled the laptop forward. That does not look like food packaging. What is that?
Calorie Mate is a brand of nutritional energy bar and energy gel foods produced by Otsuka Pharmaceutical Company in Japan.
Can I see a picture of what it actually is, not just the package?
The blocks come in cheese, fruit, chocolate, maple or vanilla flavor, apparently.
Show me a picture.
There you go. It looks like a very thick slice of shortbread.
It kinda does, yeah.
Yeah, the idea is it gives you like calories and stuff for people that don't like eating.
Can I
don't
still
have
eat
that
it
problem.
if I do like eating?
Yeah, but then you should eat way less of that, if at all, because otherwise you're gonna do... Have you ever had yeast dough and you just let it rise for a while and it keeps growing and growing and growing? That's what's gonna happen to you if you also eat calorie mate on top of all the other stuff. It's gonna make you big very fast. Hence, calorie mate.
Fair enough.
It's more or less flavored shortbread. Yeah. It does look like it. It's actually calorie mate or snakes. I'm gonna go with calorie mate.
What snakes?
Actual snakes.
All of these new.
Actual snakes.
No, that's not shakes.
No,
Shakes?
snakes.
What's? Where does the choice for snakes come from?
Tifa, at some point you will understand.
What?
There is a series of games I still want to stream with you at some point, and when we get
Metal
there,
Gear
you
Solid.
will understand. I will remind you of this moment if I haven't forgotten by then.
Okay.
I will write this down.
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't. Okay, wait, I can just copy this text. For later. For science. Sticky notes. Play it before Delta drops? No. That's not gonna happen. We would need to play Metal Gear Solid 1, 2 and then 3 first. So.
Are we actually going? Oh, we could. I guess we could.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
You said Delta, no, we'll never play. I didn't even think of that. I did not even think of that. Dark Lord, you have a point. I mean, I already hate Konami anyway, so... Can I hate
clear
them more?
now.
And Metal Gear, I would love to, but those games have really, really aged. So... unlikely. Fuck Konami. Psycho, you made a typo there. It's actually... Wait, now I can't type anymore. There. One day I'm gonna find that as a shirt and I will buy 15 of them. And then every day of a week for everything, I will always wear that.
You can make your own shirt, you know?
No, always hashtag fuck Konami. Always. Until they've had a couple of years where they've attempted to redeem themselves, I will stand by this. And I don't care if they know. They can. I was wanting to tell you all about, though.
I see there's some deep wounds here.
Talking about wounds. My current band-aid. Look, there's a ladybug on there.
You got rid of the centipedes.
A flying ladybug, walking ladybugs. Adorable. Now I keep looking at it because it looks so cute. Look.
What else could this look like?
Not centipedes.
No.
It was a centipede last time. I understand. I've looked at them before throwing them away after the stream. It was not a caterpillar. It was a centipede, clearly. But I don't like centipedes. Centipedes are creepy. They have like 100 feet. And they go like... Caterpillars are cute. They go...
Caterpillars also have a lot of feet, though.
Yeah, but they go... And that's adorable.
No, that is true.
Welcome in Gaming Check. Happy Friday. How are you doing?
What you
Fancy
said.
Band-Aid. I know, right? They were the super cheap ones from, I think, IKEA years ago.
I think when we moved in,
Yeah.
these are like 10-year-old Band-Aids.
Can Band-Aids go bad?
It was either like this whole package with the IKEA family card that was for free back then, or it was
yes. Oops.
or it was like 40 cents.
Mm-hmm.
But it can actually go bad.
They were so dramatically cheaper than if you were to buy the cheapest ones at a supermarket or something. We just bought like 5 packages of those and been slowly depleting them ever since. They lose their stick, I guess. They're mostly plastic.
Well, they still stick, so they're still good, I suppose.
Still holds.
But yeah, they're, I wanna say with confidence, almost 10 years old.
Yeah, roundabout. Jack is a big boy with a big boy Band-Aid. Yes, I am. If you or anybody you know has a really cute Band-Aid, maybe like Hello Kitty or something on there, or some animal prints or whatever, nice. Nice. I don't understand why some people shame other people for something as inconsequential as having an adorable band-aid. I feel so much better with a cute ladybug on my hand. So much better.
It soothes the pain.
I'm not saying you did that, I'm saying other people do that. I've seen it happen before. Fuck Konami. And when? Who wouldn't? I know, right? Exactly.
Now you can, instead of looking at the boo-boo, you can see the cute band-aid. And then forget all about it.
I can do most things without pain anymore, so I'm good, I guess. It's gonna heal.
Jack! Oh no, what's happening?
Yes? What? That's my name? I haven't made a twin bee in too long. Yes, or a Goemon game. Or, I don't know, one of a million of other games that Konami owns the rights to. Hashtag, you get it.
Those band-aids were discontinued.
Your hand is very rare now.
Might be sitting on a gold mine that you're now smudging with your blood.
Wait. Now I'm sitting on a gold mine, if anything. Also, I just touched the cable in a weird way. I hope that didn't kill it.
6 years ago. Never looked at band-aids there again.
Jack's hand DLC. No, nobody needs that. Touch Nikoi for life. I'm so happy you typoed that.
Before you go shower, slowly rip off the band-aid and then put it on eBay.
That's disgusting.
I'm sure there's a market for used band-aids.
I'm pretty sure there is at least one person somewhere out there that likes to masturbate to used band-aids. And that's, it doesn't hurt anybody, I hope, I guess. You do you, but not with my band-aids.
I'll take it out of the trash.
Unless, name a price.
We'll be on eBay tomorrow.
Save a price. I'm just gonna throw this away, now that I think about it.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, even if it would sell for $10, I would still cover you in band-aids and put it on eBay.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. If somebody was dumb enough to buy my bath water, I'd sell it. I'm just gonna drain it, just like I'm gonna throw this thing away later, so people would buy my used band-aid. I'd do it just fuck. See? Try putting them online.
Have you tried though?
Yeah.
That's the question.
There has to be a market for that. There has to be a market.
We laugh, but there are actual markets for these things.
Yes.
I was reading a post not too long ago about someone who holds pens in between their toes and then sells those. I'm not sure why or what the point is.
The point is feet, Tifa. So, the punchline is porn.
Yeah, why would you do it?
It's always sex. Because you already have everything else. You already bought the used underwear and the socks and the sex doll that looks like your favorite person or character. What you don't yet have is a pen to write with that smells like the feet of your waifu.
I guess.
Tifa, you underestimate the power of horniness.
I suppose.
What I wonder is, what do those people do for a day job that they afford all of this? Or do they actually go into debt for their horniness? You know what I mean? When my payment, my salary comes in, I think to myself, okay, my salary is there, now rent goes off, gas, electricity, water, all the stuff that you pay your bills for. But I never thought, I need to budget this month because I want to buy another foot-smelling pencil.
Well, you just save up, don't you? Instead of spending all the money on video games or something else.
I would like you to know that I've been very conservative with my video game shopping this year.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, you can spend it on video games or some other hobby.
Yeah, fair enough. You do you, but how much do you think a band is worth? We stream 4 days a week. Wait, we stream 4 days a week. Is there a connection there somewhere? I'm not sure yet.
Can't be usually in programming. Yeah, there. I can imagine a couple...
Is that statistically proven that a lot of these people, or well, the majority, I guess, of these people are programmers? Need to read my comments when I type them. I'm sorry, I was daydreaming about...
You ruined it. If it helps, I did read it when the moment was there, but Jack was still talking.
Yeah, I was raving like a lunatic about things. Sorry.
Half-eaten sandwiches, so you can feel like you're sharing food with your parasocial entertainer. Okay, yeah, there might be a good market here.
Benjima, that... If you want to do that, yes, I'm pretty sure there is a market for that, but also then you have to deal with the hassle of food safety and allergies and stuff. I mean, from a labeling perspective to the whole like logistics and shipping issue of getting that to the person who bought it on time.
Just say not meant for eating, there, problem solved.
I think most delivery companies have an issue with handling perishable food.
Yeah, you put it in a vacuum.
This is how the HelloFresh sponsorship starts. Tifa, can I do something that might slightly annoy you?
What?
Fuck HelloFresh. There, I said it. I don't believe it's a good service. I've never used one. I don't think I ever will.
We at work had like this HelloFresh lunch fridge.
This fridge locker thing, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you get like, you sign up to get like this card and then you can just scan it, pay out a meal from HelloFresh and then it automatically pays when you like take it out. And I have to say, I had it like twice back then and it was pretty good, except for the portions that were way too small for what you pay for, if you ask me, but...
Okay, so it's way overpriced. And that's the pre-made stuff. I'm pretty sure most people... I mean, I only know that exists, at least here in Germany, because you took one along for me once to try them out. But I'm talking about like the whole like, go online and then order a box from them and then that comes to you. I've seen so many horror stories of people receiving the weirdest things.
That can happen.
Stuff that's already moldy, sometimes missing items, stuff like that.
Well, I want to say if you get a good deal on it, it can be pretty cheap. But we never actually tried those boxes, so hard to say if it's worth it if you get it.
Then I still don't love the idea because it is more economical to just go to the supermarket yourself or use your local supermarket delivery service and have it delivered to you. The whole point
is if you don't have time, but you still want fresh meals.
Have your supermarket delivered to you. Most places do that nowadays.
Yeah, but then you get inspiration. You might try other meals that you haven't tried before. You get a whole recipe and step-by-step instructions. Like, I get the market.
Beautiful idea. Go online and Google them.
That's the whole point, so that you don't have to do that and don't have to scroll through hundreds of pages. Okay, you are obviously not the target audience for HelloFresh.
A hot take. If I have HelloFresh money, why don't I just go to a restaurant or just order food and have it delivered?
It's not the same.
So
I would just buy a Tesco meal deal and then label not fit for consumption. No, I love the Tesco meal deals.
This is going back to the taking a bite of a sandwich and then selling it to somebody.
Yeah, but...
Not my HelloFresh hatred.
I would not share those.
I'd do it if I had the money, but feeding a family of 5 would cost a lot, especially since we're all picky eaters. That is one thing. I believe HelloFresh goes for a very specific niche. The people that don't like to go shopping or don't have the time, but they also are willing to spend more money on the groceries. They are okay with not picking them themselves, and they don't just order food pre-made.
I would absolutely go for it.
And I would
if it's a good deal.
No, I would argue the people that don't have time to go shopping also don't have time to cook themselves.
Yeah, but you still want to do that, but it's still a little bit faster.
Clearly, listen, the company has been around for a couple of years. Clearly, there is a market for this. I'm not the market. I am not the market. And the stuff I've seen from them is not at all something I would suggest to anybody. Sorry, I guess.
So the Tesco meal deals are fine. Was saying to get around to sending food to other people. Yeah, okay, fair. Then that is definitely most profit per meal deal package sort of thing, yeah.
Favorite X meals coming soon. Tifa still wants a cooking stream at some point, I guess.
I would still really like to do that.
Have you ever eaten eggs during the stream? Don't you think you should? I eat a surprising little amount of eggs. I mean,
I love eggs.
Eggs in other things, usually like pancakes, but just a boiled egg or something? Very rarely.
That is actually a really good idea.
Where's my voice going?
Maybe I'll have boiled eggs tomorrow morning.
You could do that.
I haven't had boiled eggs in so long. I love boiled eggs.
I have made scrambled eggs with some vegan bacon stuff the last 3 days because last weekend Tifa treated me to some fancy bagels. We just bought like a whole bag of frozen ones and now we just take one out in the morning and make breakfast with that. And the bagels we bought are divine.
Really
I've
good.
never had better bagels. We're gonna go back there and buy more at some point. They are so good.
Maybe I'll go tomorrow. I'll
One of
consider
those
it.
fresh bagels or then freshly baked bagels with a layer of cream cheese, some scrambled egg with some bacon bits in there. Oh, I could eat that right now. Could eat that for every meal. It's
Really
so
good.
simple but so good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I haven't had boiled eggs in so long.
Tesco's like a Walmart for Europeans.
I don't want to say Europeans. I want to say mainly British people.
Yeah, we don't really have. I think Tesco is international, but
They're not that.
not in Germany.
They're not that widespread in Europe itself.
Yeah.
I
Neither
want to
is
say
Walmart.
UK is its main habitat.
Yeah. Where have we seen another Tesco before? I think in the Czech Republic? In Hungary? I don't recall.
Prague had a small one.
Was it a Tesco?
And actually, no, that was not a Tesco.
That was a Marks and Spencer's.
That was a Marks and Spencer's, true. Where did
And that's
we
not
see
the
one at
same thing.
Tesco? But when we see one, they're also not as big as in the UK. I would love to have a Tesco here.
Yeah. Usually just put a McDonald's or a Burger King in front of them. And if you're unlucky, just a Starbucks. I have a love-hate relationship with Starbucks. I don't like them as a company at all. But every now and then, for some reason or other, I get a drink there and they're not bad.
Usually when we're with my little brother.
Yeah, I just think $8 for a hazelnut caramel flavored coffee is too much, you know?
It's nice coffee, but way overpriced. Yeah.
And I do not at all vibe with typical Starbucks super fan. They are not my kind of people.
I do really like the Starbucks cups that they have.
We actually have one of them.
Yeah, my brother
not a
gave
cup.
one from
Mug.
Greece.
Yes.
But
I
like
mean,
every country or sometimes city has like their own, I'm gonna call it a tourist cup
mug.
mug. I really love those designs.
You can also buy the cups, it's the long things, but you're talking about a mug.
Yeah,
I actually
mug.
used it on
Also
stream
fine.
before.
Also fine.
Yeah.
So give it a few years and we will have robots and drones packing and delivering. That-
Fingers crossed, I'll never leave my house again.
That has already started with smaller things.
Has it?
Yeah. There's also videos of like these little drone cars, but people started like tipping them over.
Yeah. I very much look forward to getting a concussion from one of the Amazon drones flying overhead with a large package. And then there's a gust of
Accidentally
wind
slipped.
or a bird hits the thing or something like that. And then, you know, something like that. It's gonna happen to me. Yeah.
A balcony I can finally use. Oh, imagine having a balcony.
Fair enough. Our landlady still hasn't taken care of our balcony issue, and I've been offering Tifa,
So
but
summer.
I just fix it myself. The replacement part that we need is like $10. It's gonna take half an hour to install ourselves.
If we fix that ourselves and anything goes wrong because we have left hands and are not capable of fixing things ourselves,
Then I can
we're gonna
still
be
call
in
the
more
landlady.
trouble.
Then I can still call the landlady.
Yes, and then it looks like we try to fix it ourselves and then we can pay for it ourselves.
We have to do that anyway because the amount will be less than what is covered by the landlord.
I somehow doubt it because last time we had
Yeah.
an issue in the kitchen, we also didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't think they realize we need to pay for $100 ourselves.
Do you really think this is something you should discuss on stream while you're being recorded?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, but I think certain...
Allegedly!
No, I think certain things don't fall under that.
Allegedly.
I trust my landlord in that.
Allegedly.
So I don't trust my landlord.
Allegedly. My life would be so much easier if Tifa at some points wouldn't talk. Allegedly. Where were we? Jack never poached an egg. Yes, I've poached many an egg, and 9 out of 10 times I've failed. I also don't like poached egg myself because my egg needs to be cooked solid. I don't like runny ass. I don't like runny ass either. I swallowed the G.
I only like solid ass.
Yes.
If it gets too runny, it's like ruined.
To be fair, if you eat runny ass, that's a health hazard. That's a nightmare scenario for me.
I'm glad you know, so that's why you don't like it. The stuffy one or the solid ones or not?
There's no way I'm gonna live that down.
No. I'll remember runny ass for a while.
Also, Tesco is the main supermarket in the UK. Then Sainsbury's, then Asda, which was owned by Walmart. I didn't know Sainsbury's is second. I like Sainsbury's the best because, at least last time I've been to the UK, their plain scones are amazing.
Sainsbury's has a lot of really nice, like, house brand things, but they're definitely more expensive than Tesco last time we were there.
I don't recall going into Tesco.
We've gone into a Tesco.
I don't recall.
It's been a while though.
Yeah. I put it in the opening rule. No, Dark Lord. I feel like that line is something you need to work for. Like, you have to watch this stream or later on this VOD to get Jack doesn't like runny ass.
Jack only eats solid ass.
No comment.
Remember you both saying how much you love the sandwiches from Tesco? Yes.
Oh shit,
That's why I don't get why...
I thought it's a Sainsbury.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I've spent so little time in the UK, to me all of the stores are basically the same. Except when I look at the packaging and when it says Tesco or Sainsbury or Asda or whatever.
I don't know if Sainsbury's still has it, but they used to have this package with like 6 scones in it. 6 plain scones, and they were like 99 pence.
Yes, so good.
And they were like a bit sticky and very dense, and they were absolute perfection.
In the microwave for like 20-30 seconds, depending on how much power your thing has, and they come out like...
Last time we went there, I think we took half a suitcase of those back.
Entire suitcase.
Plus the, what are those cookies called again from Sainsbury's? The...
Bourbon creams.
Bourbon creams, yes.
Yes.
I doubt it's 99 pence now, yeah.
Maybe
probably.
It's $2 now, but...
Would still be worth that.
Over here, if I go to a bakery, first of all, good luck finding one that has scones. But also, it's like $4 for one scone. Because it's artisanal. You know, they don't really make them over here, so... Whatever you pay in the UK, I'm pretty sure I would consider it cheap. Because A, I'm biased because I'm on a vacation anyway. You know, it's like, oh, I'll treat myself. Plus, over here, prices are disgusting for those things.
Yeah, even though we found a recipe ourselves, which is not too bad.
That's true.
But if you have perfection...
Why mess
in a bag? Why mess with it?
This reminds me of when they call mozzarella balls in Finland Muumenmeat.
That's kind of cute.
But that also means you slaughtered the moomin to eat the meat. Why would you?
Why?
I do not love it.
How do you get to that?
Because how else do you get the meat of a moomin?
Consider it a vegetarian term, like vegan steak.
Cloning. I like yours way better, and it's also much more likely. You're a vegan steak from a real cow.
Just saying, just because the name has it in there, it doesn't mean it's necessarily that.
Talking about Tifa making a cow out of herself. Hey Tifa, what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 4 Himatsubushi, and I totally did not look away from Tifa to read the title of the game.
Cheat imitation human, yeah, of course. The last time we played Higurashi.
For legal reasons, I do not know.
For legal reasons, you do not know. Why for legal reasons?
currently cannibalism is illegal in Germany.
It's imitation human.
Mock human.
It's human in a pot.
I don't know. I don't know what human is supposed to taste like.
Well, that's why you want to try it.
No. Mm-mm. Because I also do not want to talk to a person who had to taste test and compare. But Tifa is trying to stall really hard. Tifa, what has happened last time when we were playing Higurashi When They Cried, Chapter 4, Himatsubushi?
Last time we played Higurashi, we started Chapter 4. Brand new chapter, brand new characters as well. What we thought would start as Mion as the main character was actually a completely new guy called Watashi.
Nope.
Watanashi?
Watashi wa means my name is or I am in Japanese, depending on the case.
Well, then I forgot his name. I was quite sure I had it right.
Akasaka.
It both has an A in it. I was close.
Akasaka Mamoru.
I was very close. Who is a, I want to say, newbie police officer who is currently traveling to...
He's not a police officer. He is a detective officer kind of thing in the Japanese equivalent of a CIA. He's a rookie, but still, he is like safety division people thing.
We meet him at what I believe is the airport, where he is going to travel to Higurashi to meet with Ooishi.
To where?
Oh,
He's traveling to Higurashi. Tifa, Higurashi is a cicada.
I'm looking at the title, Hinamizawa. Hinamizawa.
No, he was trying to get on an airplane to Sapporo to visit his friend, who we believe is Ooishi. But when that intro
you know what? The
happens,
place doesn't matter. He's trying to visit Ooishi.
Years after the events of what is happening in Hinamizawa in chapters 1 through 3 so far.
I heard you wanted to say Higurashi.
And as he is standing there at the airport waiting for his plane to come in, he has to suddenly get a flashback and remembers all the things that have happened back then with his dear colleague who now lives in Sapporo.
He remembers how he first met. So we have a flashback to, I believe, 7 years before that, where he is a rookie at that point. And he is investigating the kidnapping of a
grandson of a minister of something. Somebody related to...
Construction.
No, construction, I think. The top honcho bigwig guy who's in charge of the Hinamizawa Dam project ultimately.
Basically. You can actually continue from here. My order is off.
Yeah, I can tell.
No, I will have the right order until here, but from here on it will be off.
So I'll start over because that was already wrong.
What? That was correct.
In the flashback, first we get it set up. The grandson of bigwig honcho guy goes to school in Hinamizawa, and on his way home, after dropping off some friends along the way, he suddenly gets kidnapped. And then the important minister guy gets a call from some random number with a voice distortion thing. I can't do that well at all. It turns out that they got his grandkid. That's the short version of it. So now the super secret CIA-like people have to find out, because this is so top secret that minister guy didn't even go to the police, because that could hurt his political career. So now they have to figure out what has happened to the grandkid, get the grandkid back, all of that jazz. And we are assigned to the task, and we are being sent into the field. We actually have to go to Hinamizawa.
Which we didn't want to do because our wife is currently in labor.
Yes, our wife Yukie is highly pregnant, expecting soon, and we don't want to go on a business trip, but we have to because it's for the greater good.
Responsibility.
So, after some short stops along the way to talk to the more local police departments, we are now in Hinamizawa. We have met with the Okinomiya Police Department, had a nice conversation there with the head guy, I forgot the name. who was like, yeah, don't worry, it's a completely normal town, except they are very violent and they have burned down things and they keep attacking all the people involved with a dam project, so maybe make sure they don't see your face. But just so that they don't know you're police.
Well, I thought the chance was small that the villagers had anything to do with it, but we need to look at every angle and every possible threat, so...
Yes.
There we go.
Ultimately, our good friend Ooishi, or not yet, but soon to be good friend, I guess, Ooishi decided, hey, let me just drive you to Hinamizawa. So put on this disguise, a baseball cap, sunglasses, and a mask. And then we'll just drive into Hinamizawa. And we've had some lovely conversations so far, basically just getting Akasaka up to speed about what's been happening there, you know, the whole like dam construction war thing going on, and how there's big three families and how they're involved. Nothing we don't know yet from the first 3 chapters.
No, just a little bit more details.
Yeah.
On what exactly went down.
Yes. Exactly. And now we're still in the car driving into town. I believe we are standing in front of the Sonozaki estate. Wow, Jack, what a great recap!
Brilliant. Also, Ranger.
Love. Happy Friday. How are you doing? Also,
Cheers.
It is Friday, Ranger. I don't know what day you might have thought it was, but it is Friday. He's not CIA, he's lowercase CIA. Yes, Akasaka is that.
He needs to grow into it.
I guess there's a lot of Higurashi in Hinamizawa, but you don't need to go there to see them.
Yeah, I see Higurashi really big on my screen right now, and I just...
Your screen, huh? Thought we split the bills.
Our screen right now.
Communism. Also, Dark Lord, thank you for the 15 stream streak.
Cheers.
Cheers! Freitag, the wonderful day of Frig.
Who's Frick? Do I want to know?
It's Friday and egg combined.
Oh,
Also,
I
it
do want
sounds
to know.
like a Scandinavian name.
Kinda, yeah.
It's split screen. No, it's very sweet that you try to find excuses for her, but no. Freg. Closer. At least there's CVX. Tifa, are you ready to Higu some Russies?
I am ready. Go for it.
Click. Freg, goddess of the eggs. I'll take it. I'm drinking the tea to get my voice lubricated. What are you doing?
Hiccuping in the silence.
Hinamizawa?
I had a small hiccup there.
Higurashi? I don't know. You came all the way from Tokyo to investigate this, didn't you? Huh? Yeah. That's right. Something the matter? Oh, then, is it related to that direct appeal incident with Minister Inukai?
Oh yeah, that's one thing we didn't mention in the recap. He's not allowed to say what the real reason is why he's coming here for the investigation, which is the kidnapping of the son of the construction minister. But he is here for, what is the official reason? To look into the whole violence or something.
I have no idea what the bullshit reason that he had to give was. But yeah, nobody is supposed to know why we're actually... Because again, if it came out that the grandson has been kidnapped, that might... for some reason, hurt the politician's career. I don't know. I would imagine you can spin that really well for like sympathy and stuff, but you know. Well then, is it related to that direct appeal incident of Mr. Inukai? If that's the case, then public safety has been marked on a watch list? Something like that? Having you guess that so quickly makes this easy. Well, exhaling out cigarette smoke, Oishi brought... I cannot read anymore. While exhaling out cigarette smoke, Oishi smiled broadly like I had just poured a good one on him. Or so I thought. His smile disappeared suddenly. That's a lie, isn't it? Huh? I mean, the direct appeal putting them on a watch list. That's a lie, isn't it? Oishi knew there was no way that Tokyo HQ would dispatch an investigator over something as minor as a direct appeal. If I were to dispatch someone, it had to be for a more dire reason. He had figured out as much. I thought of myself as the type of person who doesn't let things show in their face.
He's wearing a mask anyway.
A mask, a cap, and glasses. There isn't much face to go off of, but apparently it's enough. Ooishi is really good at his job.
Or he took it off already. We are past the security roadblock.
We're still sitting next to Ooishi. If we don't want to be recognized as part of whatever he is doing, we should not be doing that right now.
Yeah, that is true.
In front of his watchful gaze, however, I felt that I was thinking was... In front of his watchful gaze, however, I felt that what I was thinking was completely laid bare. Ooishi silently lit another cigarette as if waiting for me to interject during this awkward pause. I see. So this was a veteran's detective way of getting someone to spill information. But as long as I realized this, there would be nothing more. If I didn't open my mouth, I wouldn't have to lose anything. It's only not going to be awkward in the car if you just don't speak. All I had to do was stare out the window and enjoy the scenery until Ooishi gave up. You really are bad at hiding things, you know? Being so young and earnest isn't so bad. Ooishi smirked as he twisted out his third cigarette while I tried to not let him notice that I had yielded completely. At first I thought I had won, but at the very least Ooishi had ascertained that I was hiding something. Meaning that I might have ended up marching to his tune. Ooishi started up the engine once again and began to move the car. If you'd just been honest with me, I thought I might give...
You okay?
No. My eyes, for some reason, keep going left and right away from the text and then...
No, the problem.
If you'd just been more honest with me, I thought I might have been able to help you. See, that worked.
So that's the trick.
Yeah, just get me Scheuklappen, as we call them. I don't know what they are called in English.
Eye clamps.
Eye claps.
Yeah,
That did not feel good. I should not have done that. Why did I clap my eyeballs? Oh my god.
Well, that will help you focus.
No, that feels so weird. Do not do that at home, people. Do not do that. Blinders. Yeah, that makes sense.
Why would you actually do that?
Because I'm a really dumb person.
Yeah, tricks like right in the eyeball.
The things you put on horses, yes, blinders, man. That makes sense. How would you help? If a cat was out of a bag, I might as well use it to catch some mice. Well, this depends on what we're talking about, but I might be able to set you up with someone who is knowledgeable about the goings-on in Hinamizawa. An informant. I see. Is that what you call it? Why are you interested in my case, Ooishi-san? Well, I'm the same as you. Isn't it our business to know things? Being able to meet with Ooishi's informant was an extremely compelling opportunity. We were looking to recruit somebody familiar with the area to collaborate with for intelligence. In the end, there was no better method for finding people than asking. We were always taught, however, that the rank-and-file police were no better than monkeys. Unlike us, they were careless with confidential cases. We looked down on them like they'd run their mouth off in drunken stupor. Ooishi was an outlaw even amongst them, and here I was lost on whether or not I should tell him about the kidnapping of a minister's grandson. You monkey. What a kind way to look at what is effectively your colleagues. I mean, not directly, but you're both in law enforcement. Doesn't that count for something?
Isn't it kind of normal? It's like how the army and the marines also have beef with one another for some reason.
Yeah. I never understood that. Like, I just really don't. Especially in that sense. Like, all of these people are in a position where sometimes they have to put their life at risk to go fight on behalf of other people. And, oh, you're the Marines, you suck. It's like, okay, cool. This informant, exactly how knowledgeable are they about the Onigafuchi Guardians? That's what we also missed during Recap. The Onigafuchi Guardians is apparently official name of a group of people that have decided to together defend Hinamizawa against the dam project. Intra-organizational rivalry is supposed to be inspiring. It usually isn't though, just meatheadism. Yeah, that's
I'm
my
not
experience
sure what the inspiring part is, but yeah. It's like, oh, join us instead of join the others. I suppose.
I mean,
I think.
the thing is, if you make a villain out of somebody to like make yourself get like a target, I get that, but at the same time, it's your colleagues. Like you work with these people.
It's
Hendrik!
Hendrik!
Oh boy, I caught a stream, and guess what else? It's our 4-year anniversary.
Love, love.
Thank you so much for the resub.
Are you off today, Hendrik? How are you doing? Do you
Damn,
have Christmas
4
vacation?
years. I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
4 years. I'm looking at the calendar.
You can see it on the months.
Yeah. Yes. And I believe that Hendrik knows that 48 months are 4 years, hence why he said that. But do you not know that when somebody goes, oh, it's been 5 years, and then you look off in the distance for a moment and you recap?
Like, oh. Yeah. Don't worry, I remember. Welcome in, long time no see. Not off today, but work is dead as can be. Yeah, like that's also kind of nice sometimes, especially before the holidays. Like nothing is happening. It's the time for reorganization. Get rid of all the backlog, messy inboxes.
Reorganization sounds horrible.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it also means something else.
Yeah, fair enough. Internal cleanup. Personal cleanup.
Internal cleanup sounds like you're...
That sounds like the reorganization.
No, it also sounds like you're sending somebody on a cleanse. Like you just drink this juice for 4 weeks and hope you don't die. And shit your soul out. Like, oh, I'm internally reorganizing my gut biome. No, just me.
No, that is just you.
This is coming from a person that also did eye claps to themselves.
Enjoy it while you can. Do you also have a vacation, or are you working over the holidays?
I hope you get one time off. How have you both been? What's new in the X-World? I cut myself. But it's healing.
Jack has a boo-boo.
Other than that, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's been busy. Too busy. But things are now around the holidays also calming down a bit. So just enjoying that.
So now we get to read a visual novel.
Still Higurashi.
Yes.
I think we started 4 years ago.
No, I want to say 9 months ago. I think we started in March. Could be wrong.
Yeah, no, March sounds about right actually.
Earlier this year. Meanwhile, if you're from public safety, you'd know, wouldn't you? Something like that is something I can't just tell you. Protect your sources. That was the first principle of dealing with confidential information. In that regard, it seemed that Ooishi wasn't one of those monkeys. Should I trust him, ask for his help, or not? It's just that you work for the feds and I work for the prefecture. I don't think that our jobs are that different. I think I can be of help. That's how it should be, yes. However, I had trouble believing that this crafty old man would simply help me just like he claimed. Now, how should I go about this? What's that sound?
Oh, the radio's kicking in.
We're going for smooth jazz again. I find it hard to believe that someone of your standing would help me out without strings attached. Well, it's not like I'm completely without an ulterior motive. As I recall, you guys have space in your budget allocated to pay informants, right? Something you don't need to submit a receipt for. Just a little bit of that would be the cost of meeting with your informant. In other words, give the compensation earmarked for the informant to you first? Well, it helps that the details of this deal are so clear-cut. Why do I think he's skimming off the top?
It doesn't really sound like something Ooishi would do.
I'm not sure. Chapter 1 Ooishi, no. Chapter 3 ooishi? Maybe.
Yeah, fair enough. Could also just be to see what kind of, how do you call it? What kind of meat you have in the tub. Let me guess, Dutch expression? Dutch expression.
And just like that, we have another Dutch saying, what?
When you want to know what meat you have in the tub,
Tifa,
you want to know what you're dealing with.
who the fuck puts their meat in a bathtub?
I don't know. Sometimes you just run out of space.
For hygienic reasons, I do not recommend...
You never ate tub meat.
No, I don't think I have.
It's like Spam, but from a tub.
I also never had Spam.
You never had Spam?
No, the thought... Like, I've seen once how that stuff is made, and no, I couldn't.
I am shocked. Like, thinking of it, Spam looks absolutely disgusting, especially the way it comes out of, like, a tube. But I did used to eat it as a kid. Would I still eat it? I'm not sure, probably not. But maybe with, like, eggs, if you cut it in small pieces, that could still be good.
I guess if I had a lot of meat, I'd be able to see it all in a tub.
Yeah. Like, you have a nice overview and you can spread it all out. You just need to know what's in the tub.
Cross-contamination is what is in there, I think. I only like fish or chicken tinned. I remember eating tinned fish as a kid and like this herring stuff in the tomato sauce. That wasn't horrible. But at some point, like, I don't know, it didn't grow on me.
Tinned fish I never liked, but I did used to enjoy tuna. Just eat it from the can.
Okay, I take it back. Tuna I always loved, and that is canned or tinned, so yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I have a colleague that always brings, like, I think it's this herring and tomato sauce thing to work and then heats it up in the microwave.
What?
I did. There was also like this tuna and tomato sauce that I remember eating, but when I now smell it, it's like...
Why would you heat that up? Aren't you supposed to eat that stuff cold? I do not know.
I don't know. But it's something fishy in tomato sauce that gets heated up.
Heating up fish at work should be an instant grounds of being fired. I'm just saying, like, no. That smell, no.
I don't always like the smell, but it also doesn't bother me. It's just people eating.
Spam is delicious. Spam musubi is a revelation.
Musubi.
I will never find out. Unless they make vegan or vegetarian spam, I guess.
Musubi.
Gotta put some tomato sauce on fish now. Do it. It's an acquired taste over here. As in, no, that sounds wrong. Acquired taste has a negative connotation. It's a common thing over here. Oh, spam sushi.
That's what it's called.
Okay. Meh, I see it.
Yeah. If you take off the seaweed, I would absolutely eat it.
Imitation spam? Why not?
I'm quite sure you have imitation spam.
I would eat it. I would try that at least once. I once had a vegetarian haggis when we were in Scotland for a few days. That was
delicious.
I would never touch the real stuff though. Like, even when I was still eating it.
Well, that I wouldn't either. Does it, well... I want to say does it fall under the same category as spam, but... I see your reasoning. Well, maybe I should buy some spam again. It's been years since I've had it.
Haggis! I saw one picture in an English textbook. Hell no. That's what I was thinking. Like, haggis has been around so long, there has to be something about it, right? Like, the actual version, hell no. I would puke if it's on my plate. But a vegetarian version is just, I think there was egg, some like oats and stuff, and vegetables in there.
No, it also
and
had
spices.
lentils.
Yeah, true.
I do not remember exactly how it was made. It was in this bed and breakfast that we had it. Could have it for breakfast, and it was like the most delicious thing ever. And we wanted to go there again, but they were closed, and then we also didn't go anymore because the rest of the prices were absolutely ridiculous to stay. Yeah, but that was so nice.
Yeah, and if you just, like, you know, if it's like some oats, lentils, eggs, vegetables, and you throw it together in a pan with some spices, and then it's delicious. Like, I don't even think about it's being stuffed in an intestine. It's just nice.
Yeah, but the real deal, no, that's for the daring Also doesn't look appetizing to me.
Same.
But to each their own.
It's too grainy or chewy to my liking. Couldn't tell you about the real stuff. The vegetarian one was... I don't know.
I somehow doubt it was close in flavor, but...
Whatever it was tasty. That I would eat again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile...
Yeah.
Meanwhile...
I had a mental image of haggis in my mind. Let's go back to spam. What was it called?
Ooishi...
Musabu?
Musubi.
Musubi.
Spam sushi. He certainly was something else for being able to brazenly state his ulterior motive like this. Rather than him doing this out of the kindness of his heart, everything was a lot clearer if he was being compensated for this deal. I felt that he was the type of man who was good at these backroom dealings. Don't misunderstand me, please. It's not me who needs the money, it's the informant, okay? Well, in regards to the payment, I'll be handling the money. When do you want it? Right now would be good. If you don't have it on you, tomorrow works as well. Why do I think this is a shakedown? Like...
A shakedown?
Yes, like somebody's trying to extort us for money.
It feels like it a little bit, but like I said, he might just be testing the waters.
That's a saying that also exists in other places, yes.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I was gonna say the meetup thing, but
no, please
I
don't.
figured there's an English version.
Please don't ever talk about tub meat again. I pulled out a wallet that was different from my personal one. The price was pretty much fixed depending on what kind of information I was paying for. In this case, the payment was up front. Also, considering the fact I didn't know what kind of info I would get, I shouldn't pay too much. When I suggested that, Rishi suddenly stretched out his hand and tightly grasped the contents of my wallet. What the... What? At times like this, it's best to not be so stingy. It's alright, it won't go to waste. I understand. I won't be stingy. And? What kind of information are you looking for? Depending on what you want, how we approach this will probably change. You swear you won't spread this information to anybody else, Ooishi-san? I can't swear as much. I'm the same as you. I can't withhold information obtained during the course of my duties. I got it, I swear. Nothing here gets said anywhere else. On top of that, thanks to you, I can pay back what I owe from my mahjong debt. In any case, I won't break a promise that involves money.
Oh, good to know.
Oh my god. I was still unsure if I should trust him until the very last moment, but in the end, I broke down. Ooishi wasn't the type of guy I could trust 100%, but there was no mistaking he had access to underground information networks. In order to accomplish my mission swiftly, I needed his cooperation. I set my resolve. I'm investigating whether or not the Onigafuchi Guardians is related to a certain incident. Certain incident? There's a possibility that the Minister of Construction, Inukai, is being coerced by someone. Saying there's a possibility is kind of a roundabout way of putting it. It appears there's a mole close to the minister, and due to that mole, the minister had been monitored quite thoroughly and was seemingly forced to cede to their threats right away. None of this was reported to us or the police. I see. So that's why you're saying there's only a possibility he's being coerced. In that case, isn't it a little strange? If the minister didn't report this to anybody, how did you guys know about this incident? Yeah, about that. If we didn't spy on the minister's private life, we would have never found out. I don't think we have to provide that explanation to the informant, so I'm omitting it. Or she had apparently caught on and quietly chuckled when I refused to explain. I see. There's a spy close to a minister, so public safety made it a highly classified investigation. That certainly isn't a very amicable story, is it? If this matter became public, not only would this affect the minister's political career, but the possibility of there being a shift in the political landscape is extremely high. If the perpetrator's aim is indeed that, then this could develop into a very grave situation. Well, with the government having development projects all over the country, they've butted heads with quite a few people. It wouldn't take much wrongdoing for the left-wing parties to suddenly garner more support. We're currently investigating what demands are being forced on the minister, but at least we have a good idea of how he's being threatened. How? The minister's grandson was kidnapped. They're denying it, but judging from when he was last seen, it's believed it's already been over 72 hours since the kidnapping. So, 3 days.
Quick maths.
Wait, 48 months. So, 3 days. If we were just after ransom money, this would have been settled by now. It may be this isn't for monetary gain. The possibility that they're forcing the minister to do something political is extremely high. That's something we just can't consent to. So then the Onigafuchi Guardians was listed as one of the possible perpetrators. That is correct. Kidnap the minister's grandson and demand the cancellation of a dam project. What do you think, Ooishi-san? From your point of view, do you think that's possible?
Seems like a legit use case.
Use case?
Business case.
Business case.
Reasoning.
Tifa is still very much stuck in her work mode. She's been talking about business and use cases all day to me today. Have you already worked on your business model canvas? If you don't know what that is, good on you. Well, she seemed to ponder the idea for a while. The section chief at the regional office had responded immediately with, "It's possible." However, Ooishi, who was this well informed about the matter, was hemming and hawing. Kidnapping is a valid use case for extortion.
See? That's a good example of how to use it.
It never is.
It is from the kidnapper's point of view.
Yes, and clearly they're in the wrong. So no, don't. Finally, just a little bit. He said something that was really just a little bit strange. This was before the Meiji era, you see. This area wasn't named Hinamizawa village back then. It was called Onigafuchi. This is just what I heard from my mother. This topic was so completely and suddenly unrelated to the subject of the kidnapping of the minister's grandson that I was taken slightly aback. Onigafuchi. Oh, so that's why they're called the Onigafuchi Guardians. You see, the village of Onigafuchi was said to be inhabited by demons that devoured humans. Even now it's believed that the blood of those demons partially courses through the veins of the villagers. Imagine an Animal Crossing game set in Hinamizawa.
Well, that could be interesting.
Where like every full moon you have to eat at least one of your villagers.
Instead of the meteor shower event, you get rid of one of your villagers event.
Yeah.
Choose wisely.
Also, meteor shower, also a great name for tub meat.
Oh, I dig it. You might be onto something.
It needs a bit more work, but I feel there's a connection there.
Yeah. Oh, and then as a logo, a stake with the comet tail behind it.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely see this.
You work in the wrong field. There's a rabbit lies in the pepper. Yes, this is the root of the issue.
I don't think we found the root of our issues yet, but...
No. Tom Nook accepting balls or... balls. I cannot eat today.
Balls and runny asses.
There are days where I hate that we have a schedule and we say what games we're gonna play because we have to stick to that. Because today is not a day I should be doing a visual novel. I cannot read. I do not know what it is.
Imagine
Tom Nook
changing it.
accepting bells or blood. Yes. Taking balls as payment would be a line for Tom Nook. No, worse. He takes balls as payment if you don't make your payment in bells. You know? like if you don't make your payments on time, there's a cutscene. It's like pitch black screen, and like Tom Nook's face comes into vision, like fades in out of the darkness into view, and then snip snip, then he fades out again. And the next day you realize, I lost some weight.
You can also pay with your runny ass.
You're disgusting, Tifa.
Maybe we should do an Animal Crossing stream once. Just chill, relaxed.
You know, the only good place for runny ass to ever mention? In a diary.
That's really bad.
You're laughing, though.
Yeah, but it is pretty bad.
But you're laughing.
I need to make a thumbs up or a thumbs down sign.
You literally have thumbs.
Yeah, but I feel like with a sign it's always better.
You just need one sign, it's 10 out of 10. Now, back to food. Demons that devour humans. Oishi-san, what are you saying? That's information. I've got a lot from you just now. A little too much. In exchange, I'm giving you a little freebie. How do you call it a freebie when you took the contents of our work wallet?
Yeah, because he would have charged more otherwise.
Oishi finally smiled, but it didn't seem like he was fooling around. Please continue. You see, these human-devouring demons, normally they were revered as Tara's transcendence and lived tucked away from the rest of the world. But they ate people, after all, so apparently they'd go to the villages and the foothills regularly and abduct their prey. They used to call that being demoned away or onikakushi. Do you think when you're being demoned away, but the person of the demon demoning away makes you sit on a pillow, that pillow specifically is called an onika cushion?
I see what you're trying, but no.
No. There's a reaction. I see the smile. No.
Yeah, but no. That's a thumbs down. But points for creativity.
How about before we are getting into being demoned away? I will try to reload my brain, we take a short break, and then hopefully when we're back I'll have learned how to read again.
Sounds like a plan. BRB.
BRB.
It's cold. Look at it, the goosebumps. Look at that.
Tifa?
We're back.
Yes,
and
we
it's
are.
cold. Suddenly it's cold. It's all these talks about being demoned away.
These talks.
Yeah.
Didn't know this was a conversation, like a TED talk scenario stage kind of thing. Also said like a human.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, let's try this again. Blah, 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 blah. Demon away. It was the first time I heard such a peculiar phrase. However, I felt something slightly ominous from this horrifying tale of demons abducting people in order to eat them. Look, you know how there's the common phrase, spirited away? When people suddenly go missing one day, they call it that. When the same thing happens around here, they call it being demoned away. How does that old tale relate to the matter at hand? Oh no, there's no direct relationship, I'm just making some small talk here. It's just...
Ka-thump, ka-thump.
The car shook. Are you okay? Tifa and I snacked some olives during the break.
What's wrong with that?
I'm about to get a toothbrush. For you.
Why? Thought it was because of the sound. The sound seemed fine. My tongue is itchy.
What? Come here.
I'm scratching it on my teeth. I'm searching. I'm looking for the sharp teeth.
Tifa, right now. Without context, that should land me in jail.
Never had an itchy tongue.
Only used for spoon?
Why? Teeth work just fine.
Couldn't tell. Ka-thump, ka-thump. The car shook. At some point the gravel road had changed to a paved one. It's just what? Around here the phrase demon away is somewhat of a code for disappearances and kidnappings. I just thought I'd mention that. I don't know if this has anything to do with the kidnapping of a minister's grandson. Well, there's no deep meaning behind it. It's just there's a little bit of that history. Onikakushi, human-eating demons coming down to the foothills and abducting their prey. Then, in order to cancel the dam project that threatened to submerge the village they lived in, did they demon away the minister's grandson? Then, had they already made an exemption?
Do the blah 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 blah.
I did, but it's not working.
What?
Nothing.
I didn't do anything.
Then, had they already made an example out of the minister's grandson and eaten him alive? It's a bit of an interesting old tale, isn't it? If you set foot into the demon's village without a reason, you'll promptly be captured and eaten alive. So don't go near Onigafuchi. Kids these days might not believe such superstitions, but amongst the older folk in Okinomiya born in the Meiji era, many would never question these warnings. 1 second. Amongst the older folk born in the Meiji era. Didn't we look that up a while ago? When was the Meiji era?
1868 to 1912.
Okay, so we're talking about people who are currently at least 61 years.
Could be a pretty big population.
True, I guess I don't know how many people above the age of 60 were in this place.
Plenty. We already ran into a lot of old people in the previous chapters. I want to say half of the village is probably that age.
My problem is we never get to see them, so I have no feeling for that.
I would say a lot.
When I start getting more modern, I guess.
Makes sense.
Hinamizawa village was feared by the people in the area. I recalled that piece of information I heard from the Prefectural Public Safety Division. In any case, we're in the boonies out here. It's kind of expected that there'd be some superstitions around. Somebody from Tokyo like you, Akasaka-san, probably couldn't even begin to imagine it, could you? The man-eating demons, as the price for violating the sanctity of their village, kidnapped the minister's grandson and swallowed him whole. That ludicrous idea flew through my head. It was so absurd, I was half disgusted with myself. Ooishi was just teasing me. Stupid. It was all really so stupid. Come to think of it, by then, I may have already been seized by the curse of that dubious village. For me to realize that would take a little more time. So how's the curse gonna affect us?
I have no clue. It also depends what time we're at. Like, when is the festival, for example?
I have no idea. 4 tips. Hot damn. Phone call with Yukie.
Oh, really? It's tough when it's such a sudden assignment. Please be careful. Where are you headed? You're already there?
Whenever I headed out on an assignment, she would ask where. Not just Yukie, but anybody would have asked the same question. If it was a cold place, she would urge me to pack a thick jacket. If it was far, she'd warn me to be careful on the drive over. It was just normal, everyday concern that led to asking such an obvious thing. I felt sad that I couldn't answer such a run-of-the-mill question.
Sorry. It's something that you can't talk about, isn't it? Please be careful.
Sorry, Yukie.
At some point, you started apologizing right away. Even though when you first started your job, you were all gung-ho about it.
Yuki laughed as though she had realized something. At times like this, Yuki had the magical power to see right through me.
It's already been quite a while since I was admitted to the hospital. Are you finally getting lonely?
Don't tease me. I'm too old to get lonely.
Really? You actually like to be doted on, don't you? Don't you start getting a little faint of heart when I'm not around?
I mean, I do, so fair. Ah, jeez. I can see the little devil horns sprouting from your head right now. You've always been like this.
You can't hide it. You can't hide it. You can't hide it. If I don't play with you, you get all lonely. I can hear your tail wagging over the phone.
I'm not sure if we are allowed to read the rest of this conversation on Stream TV, because if he's wagging his tail while calling her...
Get a room.
This side of Yuki wasn't something you could guess. What? What is that line? This side of Yuki wasn't something you could guess existed from seeing her usual modest behavior, and it was something that she didn't show to anybody else but me. Normally I'd poke her to hide my embarrassment and bring an end to the conversation, but I couldn't do that over the phone. Of course, Yuki was clever. She was teasing me because of that.
I wonder when I figured out that giving you grief was this much fun.
Give me a break. In any case, it's good to hear you so lively.
I know, right? Did I cheer you up?
I had called Yuki to keep her from feeling lonely when she was by herself in the hospital room. Of course, that was nothing more than a pretense that I, being shy, had come up with. It seemed that Yuki had long since been...
Are you really okay?
I'm about to get a shot of liquor. It's not gonna get worse.
Do we need another short break?
It seemed that Yuki had long since seen through that act. There is something about the writing in this chapter. There is something about the...
Doesn't flow as nice sometimes.
It's alien to me. Like, I can read it, but I cannot read it out loud. Does that make sense? This is very far removed from how I would normally speak. See, I can talk, I can speak just fine when I'm just focused on the flow of words coming from my mouth. Yeah.
Please phone again. When I'm not feeling up to it, I'll get my father to talk with you. Although, if you're talking with my father, I get the feeling that you'd be standing at attention on the other end of the line.
For a while longer, Yuki kept teasing me without letting me end the call. In a time when that would get really expensive. Potentially. A record of opening remarks.
Okay, we're back in the police office.
Potentially.
Judging from the image. Chairman, members of the party. Congratulations are due, as we are celebrating 25 years since our founding. These past 25 years have seen much growth in prefecture. The once quiet scenery of nothing but fields now has seen the opening of a new stop for the bullet train. And with the development of the highway, we've seen the rebirth of a modern city bursting with youthful energy. We've reaped the benefits of new businesses and industries. And with the special reference, the residents of prefecture have 4 time-honored traditions. History and culture, businesses and industries. With these ideals in harmony, they have accomplished in growing their city into one of Japan's foremost metropolises. Of course, the development of prefecture couldn't have happened without the growth of the party. We are resolved to see every one of our campaign promises to fruition, reaching our targets definitely and expediently. We are resolved to see every one of our campaign promises to fruition, reaching our targets definitely and expediently like arrows fired from a bow. What did I say?
Definitely.
Oh. With these arrows as the fundamental basis of the party, our members have sought to pierce the obstructions preventing the happiness of the residents of prefecture.
It means they do it right and they do it quickly too. Yeah.
I always use the big words for that. It takes much longer. But I do believe that everybody here is unlike an ordinary arrow.
This is so motivating. I've never been called an unordinary arrow.
While being as unfaltering and straightforward, we have not neglected in seeking solutions that conform to the current day and age while also keeping an eye on the future. An arrow, once loosed, can only fly to its destination. Everyone here, however, is no simple arrow.
Tifa, you are no simple arrow.
You're my special arrow. Even once loosed from the bow, without neglecting our studies, while employing new methods, and implementing more effective and flexible ideas, thus being able to change trajectories mid-flight, we are magical arrows. Magical, I tell you.
This feels like the worst speech I've ever had to listen to at like a work conference.
The modern age marches ever forward. Sometimes it marches faster than the time taken from planning to execution. The following part was not in the script. It is thought to have been ad-libbed by the minister. Oh, it's a minister speech. For example, there have been... This is still the next part, right? Yes. For example, there have recently been numerous problems with the Hinamizawa power plant project. Rather than forcing through the project solely because it was decided upon by the government, it is necessary to reflect on and adjust to the ever-changing needs of the residents, the region, and the next generation. The protests by the local residents that surround the Hinamizawa Dam, these are also the will of the people of prefecture. If you feel that there is no need to listen because the project has already been finalized, then you do nothing more than shed a poor light on Japan's post-war democracy. The following is as per the script. For the lasting happiness of the citizens of Japan and the residents of prefecture, please consider these policies thoroughly. I believe, however, we have all gained something from the flexibility and foresight of the party. I've taken up much of your time. However, allow me to say the following to celebrate the 25th anniversary of our founding. Chairman, members of the party in attendance, thank you very much for today. From the opening remarks of the Party Prefectural Forum and 25th anniversary celebration.
That almost lulled me to sleep. We are all magical arrows. Yes, suddenly he cares. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Magical.
So, we are awesome. Also, democracy nowadays means you have to still listen to the people if they have issues and concerns and stuff.
And my speeches.
Even after something has been voted on. Okay. Gears and fire and the taste of honey.
That seems like a fantasy saga.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a series of books where a girl with a exotic name has to fight her way through groups of people from other areas in the world.
Basically.
The world is filled with people blessed with relationships. Of course, that doesn't mean that everyone is connected to each other. It's obvious that on the other side of a planet there are people laughing and crying who can't possibly have an effect on you. However, in the extremely limited community of a neighborhood, that sort of connection is just a matter of fact. It's quite possible that a single remarkable event could have massive consequences inside a small community. If you were to increase that in scale, a perfect stranger on the other side of a globe might become enough of a legend to have an effect on our lives. Well, it's not always that way. Like I said at the beginning, the links between people basically aren't that relevant in the grand scheme of things. Whether some household nearby is having steak or croquettes doesn't matter to me. When I put on my shoes, it doesn't matter to anybody whether I put the right one on the first. Right one on. When I put on my shoes, it doesn't matter to anybody whether I put the right one on first or the left. This much the average person can understand. But actually, in reality, this is the truth. The bonds between people are quite well defined. It's not just a matter of distance, of being far or near. For example, let's say that person A's affection. I'm gonna get a drink during the next break. For example, let's say that person A's actions have some effect on me. Even then, person B's actions could have absolutely no consequence on my life. The reverse also holds true. Just because my actions affect person A, that doesn't always mean that they affect person B as well. Let's put it bluntly. If the bonds between people are like gears in a machine, the gear that represents me meshes with some people, but is isolated from others. There are some who would try arguing against this. Those people would bring up the example of gears on a clock. Each gear indeed only directly meshes with one or two others. However, if you rotate one gear, the one next to it is moved, which connects to the next one and the next. In the end, all the gears are moving. There's a logic behind this, more than enough to convince the average person. Why is the argument convincing? The answer is simple. The relationships between people are ambiguous and can only be described conceptually. How the gears are connected and how their movements are chained together can't be used as a fundamental explanation, so it throws a wet blanket on that argument. So, for the people who like that explanation, I'll use the example of a clock again to refute it. First of all, to say that this world is a singular clock would be wrong. That is, there isn't only one clock. There exist many clocks in this world, each counting their own time. If you think about it, the idea that this world is just one big clock is the height of arrogance. Even if you use the analogy of gears to explain human relationships, then you should be able to explain it using an analogy of multiple clocks unrelated to a single gear. Neighbors A and B. A is a gear in the same clock as me, so it's best to remain civil. B is a gear in a different clock, so he doesn't really matter to me at all. That's the kind of clear distinction I'm talking about. You want to say I'm being fallacious? Well, let's change the analogy to something more familiar so you can understand. You've probably heard the phrase, a fire on the opposite shore, sometime in your life, no? No, not even once. For example, if your neighbor's house was on fire, you'd probably try and help to put it out, wouldn't you? It'd be awful if a fire spread and burned down your own house, after all. But what if a fire was in a town on the opposite side of a river? Would you still go out of your way to help? You wouldn't, would you? Even though it would be a wrong thing to do, there's no way the fire could spread to your own house. Even if it turned into a huge conflagration, there's no relation between the houses that will spread fire to yours and those that won't. With this basic example, you should be able to see the difference between gears that are or aren't related to your own. Having said that, there's still a lot to think about, even without a river to divide it. After all, it's not a spatial problem like being on the other side of a river, is it? What?
Didn't fully get this one.
I feel like there was a shit ton of meaning in that, but it very much had the energy of a drunk person rambling. You know what I mean?
I feel the smileys are suspicious.
Yeah. So let's think about this for a moment. The problem is not a spatial one, as in it's not the physical distance that is the problem. You good?
Yes.
Okay, your opinion on the text we just read?
No, I wasn't making fun of you, I was yawning.
No, I understand. That doesn't change my question. What is your opinion on the text we just read?
I am not sure. I didn't really get it.
I think that's a problem. Let's read it again. No. I guess the thing that wasn't being discussed is what exactly makes the difference. What makes the difference between person A and person B? Is that something they themselves can influence? Or is that something that is entirely within yourself?
I'm not sure if this will make a big difference here.
Also, I feel like this is somehow connected to the entirety of Higurashi, not just randomly this chapter. I mean,
I'm not sure.
I guess I kind of get the point. Right now there's like 8 billion other people on this planet. I don't know 99.99999% of them. So whatever happens to them, I can read about, but it's gonna have varying degrees of effect on me,
Well, the further away it is, the less. I'm gonna say the
No.
less you'll care, even
No.
though that's the wrong wording.
It's not about distance, it's about whether I have a relationship with these people.
Yeah, but the further away it is from you, as in.
Oh, emotionally, not physically.
Yeah, I didn't say that, sorry.
Yeah, which is kind of important here when it's not a spatial issue.
The more removed it is from you, whether it's personally, the less you'll care about it. Like if it's someone you know in Canada where something happens to them, of course you'll care. If it's a random thing you see while scrolling past Reddit, it's like, oh, that sucks, but you scroll on.
I feel like this is gonna be important later, but I don't get it. The chicken, also wait. Gears and fire and the taste of honey. Where the gears I understand, the fire as well. What was the taste of honey part? Also, why is the thumbnail for this tip
story.
a blood smear?
Now that you mention it. Extra drama.
Empathy actually has a hard biological limit. You can't care about everyone.
That makes sense.
At the same time, if you could, I think that would break you as a person. Like if by some freak accident somebody is born with the ability to have infinite empathy.
That's a self-made defense mechanism, I want to say. It's like when you read the news all the time about all the things that's happening, it can really start bringing you down.
Yeah.
Like if you start caring about every single person, every single sorrow that happens to them. That is rough.
The chick in the trunk. Tifa, what are you doing in the trunk?
It's quite comfy in the trunk.
The car had stopped. But he didn't know any more than that. For not only was he blindfolded, but locked in the trunk of a car. How could people become this powerless just by being robbed of their sight? He absolutely wouldn't have known this without experiencing it firsthand. He soon realized it was pointless to try and undo his bonds with the confines of a trunk quickly making him lightheaded. He had no choice but to let this mild torture dull his senses. That's why when the car stopped and the unpleasant vibration ceased as the engine was killed, he couldn't help but delude himself that he was being set free, even though nothing had been resolved in reality. Real quick, why does the entire text for the tip so far read like I'm like a different author from the previous chapters? I remember having a similar argument in chapter 3.
Yeah, chapter 3 felt different too.
But this one seems incredibly verbose. Using big words, using more words, using flowery language. I realize now sometimes I do that and it annoys me in the game now for some reason, and that makes me feel bad. It's in a third-person omniscient POV compared to dialogue. Yeah, but even then, just because you have an omniscient narration from the third person doesn't mean you have to write like this.
Doesn't bother me as much, it's just doesn't keep you as in it, if that makes sense.
It feels like real prose more than when Keiichi says something intelligent. Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was nicer to read, though.
Or poetic, yeah. In a way. Of course, he was soon removed from that illusion. He strained his ears when he heard one of the men who had abducted him and an older man he was hearing for the first time strike up a conversation.
Nice to see you. The chick is in the trunk. He struggled so much that he's probably exhausted right now, but there's not a mark on him, just as ordered.
No, must have been a handful. Oh, white flag.
It's the grandson, I guess.
The trunk opened, letting in a blast of fresh, cool air. Even though up until just now he had been thinking about getting out of that stuffy trunk, when it was actually opened, he suddenly became uneasy. Enough so that he wished that the lid of the trunk would once again close, separating himself from them. Suddenly, somebody stroked his head. Of course, since he was blindfolded, he couldn't tell if the hand was patting him or simply evaluating how easy it would be to remove his scalp. Unable to tell the difference, he could only freeze as he imagined the worst-case scenario.
Understandable after being kidnapped.
It's also how it feels when I say something intelligent.
I wouldn't know because I don't say intelligent things. But I'm suddenly thinking back of when I was a kid. I once went on a little car trip in the trunk. Because I always wanted...
Wait, what?
I always wanted to know what it's like. Like when you're in a van and you are in the back, or in the trunk of a car and you go on a little trip. I remember not a lot of it, except that it wasn't comfortable, but it was quite fun.
Every kid wants to know what it's like, but it's both illegal and boring, yeah.
Yeah, but if you do it once, it's like really exciting, at least for the first bit.
That's why Tifa did it, allegedly.
Allegedly I did. Allegedly, I had fun, and only did it once, but it was nice. Or, well, not nice, but interesting.
All stories told on stream exist exclusively for your entertainment.
Yes. Allegedly.
Read your line.
Poor little bugger. It's shaking. Just stay calm for a bit.
I would like to apologize to the wonderful people of Scotland and Ireland. You deserve better.
East Yorkshire? Yes.
Oi, mate!
Oi! Just stay still.
Can I have some iron brew with his haggis?
Why are you being mean to this guy? He can't change the way he speaks.
The older man said that kindly as he gently stroked the boy's head.
Must have been real tough for you. But you see, your Gram's a nice man. It'll help you soon enough.
Having heard nothing but the average standard dialect his whole life, the older man's distinct intonation left a deep impression on the boy.
Yeah, a deep impression.
More like a deep depression. But he had no idea what he was saying. For your Grams to register as meaning your grandfather took a while to process. Eventually, the hand that was stroking his head loosened the blindfold. He can't keep his eyes covered. If he splits his face open, it'd be bad.
And with that, we might as well take out the gag. They can't breathe like that.
It'll be trouble if he yells. Leave him to us.
Jeez, you guys don't know how to treat somebody. The main family said no rough stuff. You better remember that well.
Yeah, we won't do anything stupid, as long as the kid cooperates with it. And then this character that said my lines has a knife and they do the thing.
What?
You've never seen that in movies where you have a creepy character that uses a knife. They lick the blade.
Oh.
But always in the most disgusting way. Not just a...
They go like all around.
Not just a... But like... Can't tell those accents apart. Sorry. Yeah, it...
It's exactly the same. I don't do accents.
Neither can we. We can just go accent on, accent off. You know, a British expert Benjima here. He wouldn't be able to tell you either. The man's hand prodded roughly and repeatedly at the boy's head. a rugged hand, unlike the affectionate one that had been stroking his head before. Just stay cooperative. If you struggle, there's no guarantee what will happen. That cliched threat was literally beaten into his head.
Okay.
Okay, so they clearly work for one of the three families. Probably the Sonozakis.
Most likely.
Shocking nobody. But
It would be a bit weird if we go through all of this and then suddenly the Sonozaki family has absolutely nothing to do with it. And then it ends with like, oh, and I just went home.
If the people that kidnapped the kid are part of the Sonozaki clan, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're part of the S group, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they are trying to outrun the police, does that mean they're runny S group?
Well brought back. I think we need a break with that.
No, I don't.
No, we do.
The runny S group. Yeah, let's go take one.
We really do.
I'll get an extra shot of liquor. Maybe that will do some lubrication to my vocal apparatus.
BRB.
BRB.
We're back.
Cheers, everybody.
Is that the tiramisu Bailey stuff?
It's not Bailey's. It's something similar, but it's tiramisu flavored, and it's not nice.
No?
No.
Did it go bad, or?
No, it's just not nice.
Okay. Well, time to give it away.
Alright, let's see if alcohol makes me read better. Is a line that I think a lot of alcoholics have said in their life before. I get to make that joke because I come from a long line of them. Now,
Waking up and...
waking up in a cheap hotel in the city was by no means pleasant. I remembered even during the long camping trips where during grade school I wanted to get home quickly, counting out the days left on my fingers. Waking up this morning, I was somehow reminded of that. Was it a need to be with my wife when she gave birth, a particular type of homesickness? As a productive member of society, as a public servant bound to fulfill his duties, it was pathetic indeed. Why is it pathetic to have emotions? Video game, would you kindly tell me that? These negative emotions faded as I downed my breakfast, which was surprisingly not half bad. The meeting with the informant that Ooishi had provided would be tonight. Until then, I couldn't just be lazing around. Bonigafuchi Guardians was protesting the dam's construction in various ways. Included in this was a strategy for improving public relations, which could be categorized into two major forms: combative and peaceful. In regards to the former, as an attempt to keep law enforcement in check, they appealed to the public's sympathy by highlighting the oppressive and inhumane tactics of the police and the brutality of the riot squads. The latter, peaceful route, stressed how precious the natural surroundings of Hinamizawa was, seeking people who would oppose the dam on environmental grounds. Hey, I know that place. I've murdered somebody there.
Should be a big hole somewhere behind this reason.
Oh, not yet, this is before that. There will be a hole there. As part of that, the village of Hinamizawa had invited celebrated This is gonna be a stream where somebody's trying to read a visual novel and gets really drunk. Also, I hate the word zoologist. Like, who invented that shit? I'm sorry, the word zoologist doesn't need to exist. Just say animal person. That's easier to pronounce. Hello, mommy. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for the resub.
Love. Aggressive love.
I drink and Tifa can't aim anymore.
How you doing?
Zoology. Is that how it's actually written in phonetics? Because the way you spelled it, Dark Lord, makes it seem to me like...
You're the drunk one.
No, like Japanese or something. Just call them furries. Same thing. No. We need to be specific. Listen. There is furries. There is scalies. I think there's featheries as well.
Featheries?
Yeah, people who are into birds.
Doesn't it all go into the furries, kind of?
No, Tifa. Listen, I've spent too much time in the wrong parts of the internet in my adolescence, and I can tell you that no, there's a difference. Do not Google that.
Featheries? Featheries? I'm totally Googling that.
Also put furries behind it, if anything.
Featheries.
Do not do that at home.
Furry. Feathery furry. A feathery is a furry term used to both describe a bird character,
yes.
and those people with a preference for avian characters and themes. Okay, so it's just a term within the furry world. Like scalies.
Excuse you? I'm sorry. Are you lumping all furries together?
No, but I mean a scaly also falls under that tree.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. If there's more terms, I don't know.
Are feather people furries?
No, they're featheries. Also, Mommy, thank you for the free stream streak. And then there's Jack, all of you. Today, I don't even have the means to prove you wrong. Whenever I try to read a line from this screen, it goes wrong. So, I guess. Yeah. I'm very concerned that you're that familiar with furry terminology. Yeah. Psycho? Same.
Not even I am.
Honestly, that's your fault. With the stuff you have talked about on stream that you've seen in your work-life environment kind of thing, the fact that you never read up on this stuff, that's on you.
I feel the need to Google a lot of things, but I never really felt the need to Google too far into furries.
Same. All of the information I have on these things didn't come to me from me searching for it. I've been exposed to it.
What else do we have? There's a whole article about furry
That's
fandoms.
right, Tifa is a professional clown. Honk, honk.
What?
If only.
I should close this before I open.
Wait, Mommy. I would think you're joking, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure. And then there are exoskeletonies.
Exoskeletonies?
I think technically possible, but... No,
I need to put
the F word behind it.
No, not yet.
But people have asked, are they still called furries if they're bugs?
Okay, exoskeletonies doesn't actually come up with anything. So I'm gonna... Or does that refer to the bugs?
I'm gonna say let's stop derailing the stream that way and focus on me having to read another beautiful line.
Well, that sounds about right.
This is what happens when Jack is trying to say the word zoologist. I regret bringing that topic up. It's always psycho!
Oh, now that you mention it. I was wondering how we got into furries. There you have it.
Don't feel bad. It would have happened at some point, whether you wanted to or not.
It will probably happen again at another point.
In roughly 15 seconds when I mess up the word zoologist again. See, I can't say it, I just can't read it. As part of that, the village of Hinamizawa had invited celebrated zoologists and botanists, as well as environmental groups, to advertise the nature surrounding the town. According to the news, in recent years, there had been a group calling itself Hinamizawa Nature Watching, setting up free sightseeing tours. I would have liked to have taken advantage of the opportunity, but when I called the village administrative offices, they said it was too late to apply for the tour, and they were still undecided as to when they'd be doing another one. Sounds like a fraud.
Kinda, yeah. Makes me remember the absolute banger lyric from one of the songs of all time. My Fennekin evolved into a furry, an animal or not, the line gets blurry. Okay, wait. I need to copy this. I need to hear.
No,
I need
Tifa,
to hear
please.
that song.
Please don't.
No. Mommy, please post a video.
Depending on how bad it is, I mean, you do know where NSFW channel is.
I need to hear it. Unironically, a banger song.
Oh look, I have more liquor.
Some of the worst lyrics have the best beats, I want to say.
Yeah. And sometimes bad people make good music too, and that's really annoying. I see. So there's no applications for next time. Too bad.
Are you a member of an environmental group? Or maybe somebody from a magazine?
No, just here privately.
Privately? Then you're a tourist.
Something like that. It's my hobby to take pictures that display how beautiful nature can be. I read in a magazine that there were some precious nature reserves here, so I was looking forward to it. I knew there was an article that had something like that written in it, but I hadn't actually read it. Was it this ad-libbed line?
That's a mistake.
That's a typo, right? That's not my brain completely going reset mode right now.
No. This one is not on you.
I'm struggling enough as it is already. Was this ad-libbed line not going to work? However, contrary to my expectations, the person I was speaking to laughed happily.
Then come. The village is a little busy right now, but you're totally welcome here.
Also, this laugh specifically. Wahahaha. In that case, I'll graciously accept the offer. Thank you.
Oh, are you getting around? Car? If that's the case, could I ask you for your license plate number? No, there's no ulterior motive behind that.
That was probably related to the checkpoints they'd set up on the way to a village. If I didn't give them my license plate number, I'd most likely be hindered in various ways. I thought about using the car I had borrowed from the prefecture, but I was lost on whether it was okay to tell them that plate number. If the Onigashima Guardians was behind this incident, there was no guarantee that they wouldn't be able to find out who I was. I had to play it safe, so I elected to refrain from using the car. No, actually, I'm not using a car. If there's a bus or something, I'd prefer that.
We do have a bus, actually. The route is going to be discontinued soon, though. You can take that. Departs from Okinomiya Station.
Thank you very much. I'll look out for it.
And when will you be coming? Is it your first time in Hinamizawa? If it is, you must be unsure about a lot of things. If you let me know, I can have somebody show you around.
Oh, no, I couldn't ask that much of you.
Don't worry about it. That's just a bit of PR we do to protect nature around the village.
Around the village. Judging by what I saw at the checkpoint, the villagers were at the very least wary of outsiders.
They just want to know what meat they have in the tub.
Drink a sip.
Thank you.
Drink a sip. No, it has to be a punishment.
No, I don't even like tiramisu.
Yeah, same.
No, I'm
actually
good.
Same as in I don't like drinking this stuff. But...
No, I'm good. You will suffer through that alone.
It was given to me as a gift because I love tiramisu. And was it my dad or my grandmother that gave me this?
Both.
Both. There you go. That's why in order to move in and out of a village freely, I had to travel with somebody like Ooishi or side with a dam protest. Having an interest in the natural environment surrounding the village tied into the peaceful type of PR that the village was using. I was a bit against having a watchdog attached to me, but that might actually work out in my favor. The entire village was fired up about the dam protests, so I might be lucky enough to hear some especially candid opinions from residents. Given that, there was no real reason for me to refuse the offer. Is it really alright? If so, that'll really help. After that, I was shown the bus schedule and directed to which bus I should get on. Somebody would come and meet me at the bus stop in the village. After showing me around a spot I'd taken interest in, there was no doubt they'd bring me to somewhere like an anti-dam information center. Then, over a cup of tea, they'd try and indoctrinate me into accepting their principles and beliefs. Well, if that was their aim, there'd be a lot of freebies involved, if the world is about give and take after all. What? Does he...
I'm not sure what the freebies are he's referring to.
Are you gonna join this violent gang for this pen?
Also, wouldn't it be easier to just pretend like you're a reporter coming to town to go into this?
No, Tifa. A reporter is one of the stupidest things you can choose as your cover, because then people will try to look for other articles you've written. And that's gonna fall apart real fast. So just being a nature enthusiast actually works out beautifully.
You're gonna tell me the CIA cannot make a fake blog?
Tifa, this is 1970-something.
Oh, yeah, true. Never mind.
The internet doesn't really exist like that yet.
Yeah, true. But then it's also harder to find out articles you might have written before.
No, one call to the archives.
I feel like that
information
can be...
is one phone call away.
I feel like that can also be arranged.
I think he's saying it'll make you popular in town if you're against the dam. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I couldn't be going in a suit. I pulled some plain clothes out of my travel case and changed into something more casual. I swear, if he's gonna walk around with a black tank top, a baseball cap, glasses, and a photoapparat, a camera. After that, after calming down by watching some local television, I left the hotel and set out for Okinomiya Station. The bus route that I was told would soon be discontinued certainly didn't look that way. There was more than enough trips on the schedule, and the number of passengers was by no means sparse. It was the main link to Okinomiya, the only town in the area. The types of passengers that stood out were older folk who didn't look like they could drive, and housewives who didn't seem like they had a license. How does a housewife look when she doesn't have a license?
The stay-at-home sort of housewife that doesn't need to go anywhere, I suppose.
You can tell that by looking at somebody.
Yeah, obviously.
Don't know what they teach them there in Japan, but it sounds sexist to me.
I've posted the shorter version of the Fennekin song in the NSFW channel for Tifa's viewing pleasure. Thank you. Is there a 10-hour version as well? For Jack's viewing pleasure.
No. Thank you, Lonnie.
Appreciate it. Gonna listen to it later.
The ladies without the license are the ones not sitting in a car. That's so dumb, but so true.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It makes my head spin. If the area was submerged at the bottom of a lake, it wouldn't matter if there was a bus route. That's why it was going to be discontinued in the unnatural scheme of things. I could catch a glimpse of the government's intent in cutting off their means of transportation to bully the village into emptying out sooner. How exactly do you... No, forget that. I was going to ask, how exactly do you leave a place sooner if there's no public transport anymore? But then I realized most people wouldn't move using the bus.
Yeah. Good luck taking your couch in there.
I've seen that before.
It's a lot of trips.
I've seen people do that before.
Sure. I mean, it's not unnatural.
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes.
Yes, it is. It's very uncommon, thankfully. An extended version, what I posted, was the official video clip. The extended audio is audio only. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you. I shall check it out. Sounds like something that will be stuck in my head all night.
I shall be playing the song later.
On speaker.
It makes sense. According to the documents, talks between the Ministry of Construction and the locals broke down quite early. The government decided from the start to take an aggressive stance on the matter. It was like the fairy tale with a north wind and the sun trying to get the traveler remove his cloak. There's another typo in there. Trying to get the traveler remove his cloak. See, it's not me stumbling over words, it's the damn text. Even their bullying had meaning to it.
No, that seemed correct. Trying to get the traveler to remove his cloak.
No. Read it. Read the line.
Yeah, it was like the fairy tale with the north wind and the sun trying to get the traveler. Oh, to remove his cloak. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The reason why the Onigashima Guardians resisted so violently was because the government was doing unseemly things like that. I was somebody who lived in Tokyo, so for a village or two out in the boonies like this to be submerged didn't seem like a big deal. But I guess for somebody actually living here it would be a vitally huge problem. Yes, my house is underwater, you dick!
Blup blup.
That's hello in Hinamizawa after the dam was built. I got tea all over my upper lip, it feels so weird. This route will be discontinued at the end of this financial year. Thank you for your patronage up to this point. We look forward to your continued patronage on our other lines. Okinomiya Transportation. Gazing lazily at the notice of discontinued service posted inside the bus, I counted down the number of stops until the designated one. Along the way, we passed to the checkpoint before without stopping. They knew what time the bus was coming, so they had opened up a barricade ahead of time. From here on out was enemy territory. My palms had at some point become coated in a thin film of sweat.
Now arriving at Ukita Waterworks. Are there any passengers disembarking?
I hurriedly pressed the stop request button as the designated spot was announced. For none of the numerous passengers to be getting off here meant that it must be quite a remote place. In actuality, the stop I got off was so abnormally run down that I could tell it was barely used. As soon as I stepped out, an intense atmosphere completely different than the interior of a bus assailed my body. Right now, Ooishi or Hondai weren't beside me. That's right, at present I was alone in the middle of enemy territory. My adversaries probably thought I was just an ordinary tourist, but that was nothing more than a ruse. But if by some mistake my true identity was to be exposed, it brought back the terrifying words I had heard at the prefectural office. But if somebody was attacked in Hinamizawa with a knife, there wouldn't be any evidence left behind. I didn't seem suspicious, did I? My clothing was currently casual.
The moment you start wondering whether you're suspicious, you are sus as fuck. Like you start walking differently, you do the looking around more, you make the awkward eye contact with the security in the store. You'll do everything that will make you suspicious.
It's like when you're walking down the street and then you think, am I walking funny? And then you start walking like...
Yeah.
Completely normal walking. Like everybody does. For absolutely no reason. Because it's normal. Or when you're thinking to yourself, am I breathing manually?
Yeah.
Also, why is my nose stuffy now? What's in this tiramisu drink?
Thanks, because you didn't have enough.
Sticky.
Ew.
It was exactly the type of clothing that a city slicker that viewed the countryside as a wholesome getaway would wear. A camera and a knapsack. I told you!
A knapsack.
Yeah, knapsack.
Yeah, knapsack.
Your knapsack. Inside were various things needed for hiking. It was still only June, and maybe it was unusual, but the sun was shining down like it was already the middle of summer. The fact that I didn't bring a hat must seem odd. No, it wasn't something to be that concerned about. It's alright, I was just a normal tourist. Just normal. Was there anything suspicious about me?
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Asking that as I turned around to look at the bus that was departing. Dude, no. You cannot randomly pull that out on me. I need to sleep tonight. Creepy, creaky floorboard agrees. Asking that, as I turned around to look at the bus that was departing, all the passengers by the window were staring down at me silently. They were staring right at me, as if they had seen right through my proud little outfit, just staring, looking down on me.
Creepy.
Countless stares rained down like needles on me from the windows open to air out the bus. All that rained down were the stares. None of them were saying a word, but all the more, their silent stares told me more than a million words could. Hurry up and go back to Tokyo, you outsider. No, There was no reason for me to speak. My quiet voice was drowned out by the sound of the engine. The bus, as if to torment me, set out slowly, and after doing more than enough to intimidate me, sped off. A thin film of sweat began to rise from my entire body. According to the documents, it was a village that seemed wary of outsiders. Its population was small as well. If they saw an unfamiliar face, they would be quick to identify that face as an outsider. On top of that, nobody else had gotten off at this stop. It was a bus stop that they normally just passed on by. Somebody actually getting off there? There was no doubt that had drawn some attention. But this wasn't a slip-up. They were the ones who directed me to get off at this stop. There was nothing to worry about. I knew that I was just nervous since this was my first undercover assignment. My more seasoned colleagues referred to us as the new generation that didn't know how to lose their cool. But that wasn't true at all. In order to calm my breathing down, I exhaled the unpleasant air residing in the pit of my stomach. I couldn't help but pray that my apprehensions would disappear like the white clouds of exhaust expelled from the bus. There was a small shed there to serve as shelter if it rained, and it was there I decided to wait. Inside the shed, one wall was plastered with posters advertising the dam opposition efforts. It was like the heartfelt screams of the villagers were recorded on that wall. Inside that shelter, I felt an inexplicable pressure. It wasn't like I had any real relation to the dam project, but it still made me feel hesitant about being inside there. It was just how filled with a force of denial that space was. And inside that uneasy space was a girl. What? I know it's the art style partially and also the angle, but her head
looks massive.
Being 60 times the size of her hand?
Yeah, not a big fan of this one. Wait, what year was it? Can't be Rika, right?
Yes,
her
it is.
mother?
That is Rika.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. That is Bebe Rika.
Okay.
She must be like 5 or something now.
Well, makes sense.
It makes sense for a 5-year-old unattended to sleep in a bus stop shelter.
In a village like this, yeah.
I guess.
It's not a big city.
Yeah.
You can sleep wherever you want in the village. You can keep your doors open. Leave your car open.
I don't have a license. I'm in the bus.
Maybe not now anymore. Can't say about that. It used to be quite common.
Inside that shed, covered in words written in broad brushstrokes berating the police regarding the dam and calling for action, there was a girl sitting there with a drowsy gaze as if half asleep. The two images clashed so much that I could only stand there dumbfounded for a moment, trapped in such a surreal environment. If I stepped inside, who knew what kind of oafish noises I would accidentally make? I couldn't be disturbing this girl's slumber like that. Having thought this, I gave up on entering the shed. It was just a sleeping kid, so why was I so worked up about it? Finally, I realized. This girl, to us as a married couple, was the very image of our ideal child. Even after numerous examinations at the hospital, we didn't know for sure what our child's gender was. Whether we could tell if they were a boy or a girl was, in the end, depended on whether or not we could get an image of their genitalia. There was, of course, no guarantee that it was a girl, but with things the way they were, the possibility was high. Even so, Yuki had been saying that the chances that it was a boy or a girl were even. But in my heart I had already decided that our coming child was a girl. Since the day I decided that until now, it was so fun to imagine how our child would grow up that I couldn't help myself. Amongst those numerous imagined forms, the one that I thought to be the most ideal had materialized right in front of me. Of course, a little of that was... What the fuck am I reading? I don't have children. I don't think I ever will.
UK, just stop giving birth to this one. I'll take this one.
But yeah, no, I get it. I guess it's supposed to be a compliment, but at the same time, I don't know. It feels...
What? He's just dreaming about having a daughter being like that. Doesn't seem weird.
I guess. Is that something everybody does when they're expecting?
I want to say, if you want a kid and you're almost having one, especially as a first one, not that I have experience, you look at families or kids and go like, oh, that's gonna be mine soon.
It would be nice if mine was more like this one. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but I think that's fully normal. You see something, you imagine this is how your family is going to be.
If you have having kids on your mind, you probably do. Yeah, that's why it seems so like foreign to me. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Of course, a little bit of it.
A little of it.
Why can't you write the game the way I would speak?
It's not our day.
Yes, it is. I'm doing awesome. Fuck you. Take your runny ass somewhere else. Of course, a little of it was due to the circumstances. In my ideal image, her hair would be on the short side. The girl in front of me, though, had long hair. It was almost as if somebody had taken my ideal and made some small adjustments. It certainly wasn't something unpleasant. Even so, I felt like I was sullying her just by looking at her like that. She had an immaculate, no, a divine air about her.
Oh, I thought she was crying.
No, that's fair. It was impossible to tell. That girl with an angelic smile with a yawn wide enough you could see her molars woke up all of a sudden. I didn't mean to peep. You're not peeping, dude, you're looking. But locking eyes with a girl who had just woken up like this somehow made me feel like I was playing a prank on her. I wasn't doing anything shady, but I became flustered.
Also, to be fair, it's not the thing he's doing that's awkward. It's how he's acting that is making this feel awkward. Like he's making it awkward right now.
Yes, but it seems to me that he's making it awkward by being afraid of making it awkward, therefore making it awkward. Like, if I'm out in the boonies and there is this singular little hut for shelter and I go in there and there's a random 5-year-old girl sleeping, I'm going to look at her. Because why wouldn't I? Just a random kid, unparented, unsupervised? I want to know what's happening. The girl spoke. No, cried out.
Meep.
Meep. Like that character on the show with the puppets. With the orange hair. I thought it was just one of those greetings kids do. So, in order to prove I wasn't a suspicious person, I responded in kind.
Meep.
Meep, meep, motherfucker. Meep.
Meep?
Meep. The girl stared at me dubiously with a doll-like expression. cute but cold and hard to read. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. There was, after all, an unfamiliar man right in front of her when she woke up who responded with meep when she said the same.
Which weirdo does that? Meep meep. Ooh.
Suspicious. Sus. She definitely thought I was suspicious.
Meep.
Meep. Meep? We were both at a loss for words. No, the only one lost was me. The girl in front of me, as if inquiring about my motives, stared at me intently. In this silence, I felt like I was the one who had to say something first. Damn it, this girl was way better at interrogating somebody than ooishi. To be fair, she started this.
Yeah,
yes.
she did.
I'm gonna try this, like, next time I'm in a weird situation. Not weird situation. If I'm about to engage in conversation with a stranger.
Meep?
Meep. Meep?
Meep.
Meep meep.
Meep.
Meep meep. I can only hear the roadrunner. Never meep meep. I'm not anybody suspicious. I'm
Batman. Nipa.
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 What I could have only described as a cold expression suddenly blossomed into a smile, one that would soon infect me. You might be familiar with the term angelic smile. To me, it was like that phrase was created just to describe the smile she gave me. The girl, smiling while saying Nipa, probably wanted me to return the favor in kind. That's right, this was a kid's form of communication. Having the other person emulate what you just did was a rudimentary form of mutual understanding. Nipa.
Nipa.
It was a beautiful afternoon in the early summer. What was I doing?
Nipa.
Nipa. Well, whatever. This was interesting in its own way. If making somebody happy with just a smile was the work of angels, then this girl was definitely one of them. I couldn't help but pray that my own child, who was soon to be born, would grow up to be like this girl. That strangely gentle moment was finally brought to the end by the arrival of a car. An older person waved at me from the driver's seat, a dry smile plastered on their face. Beaker was invented in 1977. I guess they could have had it in Japan a few years later? Yeah. But isn't it 1975? No, 78. Yeah.
I already forgot the time.
Checks out. Me. Also that, I think it was called Pingu. That like claymation show with a penguin. Noot.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
yeah.
know. If
I don't know what
you've
it's
heard
called,
it, you
but-
know the sound. Exactly. Noot. See? That's what I need in my life. More noot and beep.
Hi
Everyone
there.
loves Pingu.
Oh, hi there. Good afternoon. Sorry for being late. You're the tourist who phoned yesterday, right? Changed voice, but now I know it's an old person.
Huh? Yes. Nipa.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm running a little behind because of the farm. Hop right on in. Looks like the weather isn't going to hold up for much longer, so I'll show you around real quick.
I was slightly afraid and I couldn't tell when you did the hop right on in if you were going to give it a southern tang.
Hop right on in.
It looks like the weather isn't going to hold up much for longer.
I'll show you around real quick.
Bless your heart, my dear.
Thoughts and prayers for the weather.
Noot. Meep. This stream is breaking me in every possible way. Huh? The weather.
It changes fast around here. There'll probably be evening showers again today. If that happens, you won't be able to take any pictures. Did we even take a camera along?
Yeah, we did.
Come on, get in. Oh yeah, camera and a knapzak.
Yeah.
Meep.
Turning around, the girl was standing right behind me with an intrigued expression. Her body language somehow reminded me of a stray cat that followed you around after you played with it a little. So charming.
Well, if it isn't Rika-chama. Praise be. Nipa.
A girl named Rika with an immaculate smile and an old man praising her while rubbing prayer beads in his hands. It was a rather mysterious sight to behold. So the girl turns her face at me, tilting her head a little in a cutesy manner. After seeing that, the elder introduces me as a tourist who came to sightsee Hinamizawa.
A young one who came to the village for sightseeing?
The girl, Rika-chan, said that with a smile as she clung onto my arm. Well, yeah. I heard that this village is surrounded by a precious nature reserve, so I very much wanted to record that with my camera. Even though I look like this, I really like to take pictures. What do you mean, even though you look like this? Mark II.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, so Tomitake was already...
Yeah. Tomitake is an established franchise in Hinamizawa of the time already.
No, but I was thinking that I don't recall when he first started going there, but that means it was before the dancing.
That's very fully dressed in the original art style.
Tomitake Maker too. Did you
Mark.
Say, right, I was gonna say, you said maker. It seemed weird. I just repeated it. Mark too.
Huh? Tomitake? Huh?
Makino? Is it okay if I come along too? I couldn't. You could come along, Rika-chama, but there's nothing interesting to see. You should go play near the shrine or something.
Also, wait a goddamn minute. Isn't Chama an honorific used for holy beings?
Yeah, she's considered divine by the villagers. Like a protector.
I think Chama is somewhere between Chan and Sama. Okay.
We had a whole thing about this in the previous chapter.
Yeah, but there's a difference between reading about like, oh, she is considered to be like a deified person or whatever, and people actually doing it is... I feel like this is the first time we see somebody being this reverent to her, you know? Like we've been told this happens, and we've been told, especially the old folks in Hinamizawa love her to bits, but actually seeing them go like, oh yes, prayer beads. Ah, thank you for blessing me with your presence, Rika-chama. It hits different.
Fair. Beep.
A distinctly displeased expression creeped across Rika-chan's face. Being able to show one's emotions honestly on their faces was a privilege young children had. If it's not too much of a problem, could you bring this child along with us? This child! Dude.
That makes it a little bit creepy. Well, yeah. Kind of overkill. Well,
yeah.
I guess they want to prove a point here.
Didn't we in the... Wasn't that at the end of chapter 3 that the people here believe that oyashiro-sama is being reborn as the 7th daughter?
Yeah, the 7th... Was it the 7th? For firstborn daughter in the generation. Something like that. And that could be Rika, yeah.
Wait, is Mion or Shion the firstborn?
No, it was already said that that would be Rika.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, is Mion or Shion the firstborn?
Don't think we've learned that.
Shion,
I think, is the
Shion is the younger
one.
sister, right? So Mion could technically be firstborn.
Oh, no, it is. Mion is the firstborn.
Yeah.
We know that.
So it could be Mion, it could be Reina, it could be Rika.
No, it has to be in their family. It's in the Furude family. So it can only be Rika.
Maybe I should voice my thoughts. I was thinking, during chapter 1, did Rika actually make it to the end of the story? Do we know whether she survived the entirety of a run we had with Keiichi?
Oh, no. There was nothing where she died.
No, we did not get to see her dead.
Yeah, so there was nothing where she died.
Rika and Satoko don't even show up at the end. That's what I'm talking about.
They could be dead, but we do not know.
Because what if what happened at... or it was mentioned, I think, at the end of chapter 3 is what's important. When the reborn Oyashiro-sama dies, things go to shit.
Yeah, but the end of chapter 1 was not a thing where everything went to shit. We just died.
I would argue that could be part of it.
Yeah, but those are things that all happened in all chapters before Rika died. So I want to say no.
The smaller characters in the first arc. Technically, they're always smaller characters. While I said those helpful words, another smile spread across Rika-chan's face with another Nipa as she clung to me again. No, not bad at all. I want this girl to call me Papa. No, Father, Dad, Daddy. What am I doing? Ever since I met this girl, I was completely off my game. Just calm down.
Nothing I can do, I guess. Rika-chama never listens, even if you say no. Come on, hop on in. Come now, Rika-chama too.
You can lay in the trunk, allegedly.
That's a 90s thing, allegedly.
The old man descended from the driver's seat and opened up the sliding door for the van, which had Onigafuchi Alliance Town Council stenciled on the side. I'm gonna tell you the most vegetarian wannabe vegan thing you've ever heard. I was looking at Onigafuchi Alliance Town Council and I was realizing OAT, like oats, Oat Council.
Could be the shortcut.
I doubt it.
Or the abbreviation.
It shouldn't be because it would kind of suck, especially for what we're doing. Rika-chan brushed me aside, drove into his seat and began bouncing around right away. It seemed like she was thoroughly enjoying the bouncy springs.
Come on now, Rika-chama. If you're like that, our guest can't sit down. Hey, Rika-chama!
Girls are nice. I wonder if my child will play around like this too. No. It was written in that guide to raising a child that you shouldn't dote on them.
Remember those library books we talked about this week?
We talked about them for dogs and cats, but they
were there for kids too.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them for like every stage in a kid's life. You have them for like babies from like ages 0 to X months, and then from like 7 to 12 months. You had them in all steps.
Did your parents also have one of those books?
No, but they bought one when I got a cat.
Fair enough. It's kind of funny how...
And there was this whole series in the library.
Yeah. These books exist for human babies and for pets. And I personally know more people that bought these books for their pets than when they got children. I just think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, because you wouldn't read about that in a book. I don't know.
I probably would. I don't know. Kids are kids. If you don't raise them strictly without spoiling them.
It's soft and springy. Nipa.
Nipa. I'm definitely going to be a terrible father. It was decided that I would be a doting parent before my child was even born.
Well then, sir, I'll show you around some places that I think look nice. Have you eaten lunch yet? Should we somewhere call it a night here before we go on the tour?
No. Yeah, I had a light meal at the hotel.
Is that so? Well then, let's get going. Well, we could have gone to the maid cafe.
Do you know about Angel more?
We're setting off on a tour of Hinamizawa. Yay!
Is it alright if I call you Rika-chan?
Sure. My name is Rika Furude. I can already do addition in the 10th digit.
That's so cute. Oh, is that true? That's amazing.
I don't count on my fingers. I can do it all in my head.
The way she insisted upon that was just too cute. At some point, the nervousness I had to buy. 10 plus 9 is 21.
Quick maths.
Blackjack. There, you win. Jackpot. All the money is yours. The whole thing earlier with him being like, oh, Rika is so cute, I like, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't get it. But at this point where it's like, I can do it in the 10th digit. I don't count on my fingers. I can do it all in my... Now I get it. Now I understand. At some point, the nervousness I had about being alone in enemy territory had evaporated like it was never there at all. I had to be at least a little thankful that I met this girl.
Well then, let's get going. It's time for Hinamizawa nature watching.
The old man stepped on the gas with a great deal of gusto.
Gotta beat the rain.
I was gonna save there, but we're going on the whole trip instantly.
Expected we would make a stop everywhere and talk
we
about
would learn
it.
something about the place.
Okay, that is cute.
That's adorable.
Go through the history. Hey, look. It's the river.
This is a great spot to lay down as volcanic gas rolls over you and destroys the city.
Yeah, I was thinking so too. Looks like a safe spot.
In a moment now. The old man, who was apparently named Makino, was he the same Makino that was listed as the auditor of the Onigafuchi Guardians? He showed me around places that were all breathtaking. Even though I wasn't really here for sightseeing, I couldn't help but be impressed. First of all, this was different from the simple scenery of a city. The scenery of a charming village like this, no matter how mundane it seemed to the villagers, had a tranquil appeal to it. At first, I was only releasing the shutter as part of my tourist act, but midway through I found myself taking pictures out of pure interest. Tourist traps had their own unique allure to them, but there was nothing like that here. I was especially captivated by the unspoiled nature of the place. If there wasn't that whole uproar over the dam, I would want to bring Yukie with me here some other time. I wanted her to breathe in this fresh air, as well as show her this rejuvenating verdant scenery. That means green. It's a very loquacious way.
Is something like this that interesting? You're a strange person, Akasaka.
No, these cylindrical mailboxes are rare nowadays. They have a certain nostalgic air about them. You wouldn't happen to think they're elegant, would you?
Is Hinamizawa fun?
Yeah, it's fun. Once she's discharged from the hospital, I'd like to bring my wife here at least once. With a child that would be born by that time.
That seems like a mistake to say. Why would you come here sightseeing and taking pictures if your wife is in the hospital giving birth to your kid?
And why? How to not dox yourself. If you are trying to be completely undercover, don't mention you have a wife. Don't mention that she is with child. Don't mention that the child will be born soon. This ain't Shenmue 2.
This is the hidden chapters.
Skinner, this is Shenmue 1.5. This is actually a prequel to Shenmue. Happy Friday, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
Also, can we talk about the amount of typos in this chapter so far? With the child that would born by that time. I swear,
they were in a rush.
I drank all of this for nothing. It was never me.
No, sometimes it was you.
It was never me.
Okay, no,
it's always been this game.
It's Shenmue 3.
Shenmue 3 is Shenmue 3. I never really noticed the typos.
There's been a lot in the ones today.
The thing is, if I'm just reading this, the line makes perfect sense, so I don't even doubt it. If I was just playing this for myself, I would just keep going through the text. It wouldn't even bother me. But sitting here, voicing this, and trying to actually read it the way it's written, it becomes so much more in focus. Just read fast.
Well, some you easily overread because it makes sense for the line to be like that, like where the word to was missing.
But then because of my flubs earlier, I'm trying to really focus on every single word, and then it's like...
So you see, we haven't agreed yet on which version of Shenmue this is, but it's all of the above.
All of them, yes. Right now she's in the hospital waiting to give birth. She's due any day now. It'd be nice if they're a cute little girl like you.
Sir, it seems like congratulations are soon to be in order. Still, that's not good. To leave your wife behind and play around in a place like this? Yeah, I fully agree with her.
I was momentarily at a loss for words. It was exactly how Makino said. There was no good reason for a man who was waiting for his wife to give birth to be playing around idly in this place.
Messed up there.
Did I slip up? Well, we had already planned this trip to Hinamizawa a long time ago. My wife's family is with her, so it's alright.
But the article that spoke about the scenery and all of this wasn't released until last month.
Yeah,
because that's how you learned about us.
Yeah, but it wasn't about the article I read later. It was actually an old friend of mine that had traveled Hinamizawa before and told me about how beautiful it was. Sus. Yeah, that is a pretty dumb way to give up your cover.
If you had planned so far in advance, then how come you didn't make the sign-up deadline for the nature watching? And that. You could have toured around on a nice bus instead of being crammed up in here.
It didn't seem as if Makino was actually digging for anything. But if this conversation continued any longer, it would put some unexpected holes in my cover.
Yeah, you already did that yourself.
I halted this conversation by pretending to take another picture. Snap!
Hey, and now we got a private tour, I suppose. Well then, for our last stop, I'll take you to a place with the best view.
It was slightly before evening. The sun was still burning brightly, but a cool breeze had begun to mix itself into the air. It seemed my exploration of Hinamizawa with Rika-chan was just about done.
The place with the best view? Well, Rika-chama, where else could it be but the view from around the shrine?
Hearing that, Rika-chan smiled even more.
Well then, I'll introduce you to my home, Akasaka.
Huh? By Rika-chan's home, you mean... Huh?
The shrine. Furude Shrine. There's an observation platform. You can see some real pretty scenery.
Furude Shrine. The girl who called Furude Shrine her home, Rika. If I remember correctly, her full name was Rika Furude. And Furude was... That's right. One of her 3 families. Even if the Sonozaki family is said to hold all the actual power, it was still one of the old houses that held some authority. No, more important than that right now was Furude Shrine. If I remembered correctly, Oishi had told me. Within the grounds of the Furude Shrine, there were the offices of the Onigafuchi Guardians. And since the land around Furude Shrine were private property, the police couldn't set foot there heedlessly. Furude Shrine, where even Oishi couldn't simply set foot into. The main base of operations of the Onigafuchi Guardians. I had been given the unexpected opportunity to enter there. I couldn't have asked for more. I'm looking forward to it. Please, if you would.
Well then, let's get there quick. The weather seems to be getting a little iffy.
Before I press the button again to advance the text. Look at the background. Look in the middle. You see like a target, like a blue circle on a white background, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now to the left of that you have a white part of a pillar or wall, right?
Yes.
And left of that, there's like this
Why don't you
greenish...
just turn on the mouse?
Because it takes longer. There's this greenish yellow background with what looks like a note stuck to it.
Above the word let's get or get.
Yes, right above the there, to be exact. And it looks like there's two googly eyes on that thing.
Yeah. And someone taped his mouth shut.
Yeah. Feels like me sometimes. The sky had suddenly become overcast. It wouldn't be odd if it started raining soon. The cicadas, as if trying to finish their daily allotment of chirps before the evening, cried out even more fervently. I'm so good. I'm so good. I felt the change. I felt it this time. Little robot face, yeah, a little bit.
Kinda,
Really
yeah.
cute.
I do like the
feel the
relaxing
transition.
music. Could have been in a little Yoshi game.
Yeah, definitely. One of the earlier stages.
Yeah.
Maybe like an afternoon at the beach.
It's the chillaxing background where you just go through an easy level.
I'm so proud of myself that I was able to time this exactly with the scene transition. Mwah. And all it took was a double shot of hard liquor. Well, not that hard. I want to say this stuff has like 18% alcohol.
Well, you still have a whole bottle to finish.
Yeah, like half. I've only had it for 9 months already.
How about with like Christmas or New Year's Eve, you take it along?
No.
Share it with your...
No, there's other drinks that there will be.
Yeah, but then you could pour it for your dad or grandmother. Like just get rid of it a bit.
Hey, remember how you gifted me this? Drink it yourself.
It's so good, I want to share it with you guys. Which means you'll get more bottles.
See, Jack, it's the drink, not the typos. I'm sorry, when I started drinking this stuff, I was doing the lines better. I do not advocate drinking alcohol to make you read better, but whatever was like clogging up my brain got dislodged by this. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's okay, it's Friday.
What kind of liquor is it? It's a cream liquor that is supposed to taste like tiramisu, that Italian dessert where it's like, I think they're called lady fingers, those cookies. They get soaked in a mix of espresso and almond liquor, amaretto, and then a layer of sweetened mascarpone cream. It's like kind of similar.
Out of curiosity,
to
is there
cream
someone
cheese.
who doesn't know what tiramisu is?
Yes, I want to say a couple billion people actually.
Okay.
A layer of that. I mean, you can layer that up as much as you want, like a lasagna kind of thing, and then you sprinkle some cocoa powder on top. It is one of my favorite desserts, and it makes you so fat so fast.
That's why we didn't have it every day.
Mascarpone is like this really like thick, creamy, rich stuff.
Want to add some into your drink?
Somewhat.
Some mascarpone.
I think if you mix that mascarpone stuff directly with alcohol, it will break.
Fair enough.
You know, like milk starts to curdle if you mix it with certain things. Should have drank in literature class to stomach Goethe. I wish I could have. I wish I could have.
Could have mixed that water with something.
My teacher would have noticed well. Definitely. Yeah. By the time we were actually reading Goethe, I had this. I've mentioned her before. My last German teacher, she was this like hard ass kind of boss lady. Not coming from a negative place. She was just the no nonsense kind of person, which in hindsight I can respect. Back then, not so much. But she would have noticed it immediately. They don't eat alcoholic mascarpone. Are you sure about that?
First time for everything.
I feel like the stuff we're going to learn in chapter 4 is going to be the most important, but at the same time it doesn't feel like that at all yet.
No, I'm still stuck on its a bonus chapter, so I don't think it will be all that important. But you do learn a lot of the background, which I can appreciate, but I have a really hard time caring about this chapter so far.
Chapter 4 is gonna be super freaking important. Why would you go out of your way to make chapter 3, do the all cast review thing, announce the name of the next chapter, and then still put one in between?
Why are you so stuck on that? Plans change. Or do you think there's something hidden in there?
I'm saying I do not know these things. I cannot Google
it really
anything.
Bothers him.
It's still the little octopus thing. I cannot look up anything about Higurashi. I haven't. The only thing I ever get to Google is 07th mod, which we're using, because I need to reinstall that with every single chapter. So I don't get to Google anything. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the history of how these games were made. But it seems to me that somebody who writes a story like this long, this good in a way, would do something accidentally. And just go, I still had. Wait a second. Just go, I still had some notes laying around for a spin-off chapter. I'll just jam it in here. No, I don't believe that.
You haven't considered how much time was in between the chapters. Maybe this was planned, but more towards the end.
Yes. Potentially. Yes. I do not know that.
Seeing anything in that.
And I cannot Google that, because if I Google that, I will find spoilers. But I would think that this is a reverse Game of Thrones season 8. 6, 7, and 8 in a way. I, at this point in time, believe Ryokishi, and I don't know how many other people worked on this, wrote chapter 5 and were like, okay, chapter 5 outline chapter 6, 7, 8, or what became 5, 6, 7, 8. We still need something. There's something missing. We can explain all of this, we can detail it, but if we want the reader, the player, to be able to follow us on this journey, we need to give them something, and that's why Himatsubushi.
Well, I feel like Psycho is semi-confirming what you're saying, because I'll buy the next Silent Hill game solely because he's writing it. Yeah. Seems to be a silent hint. No?
5 out of 10.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it took me a moment. But even then, it wasn't great.
The end of chapter 4, Jeff the Land Shark kills all the Higurashi cast. Oh, fucking
If that
Jeff.
was the end of chapter 8, I would not be... Listen!
Just to close it off.
Listen, I would be okay with any type of twist at the end at this point, as long as it is written competently and it makes sense, given the things that have happened.
Yeah. Well, once again, you're not gonna find out anytime soon.
And I need to remember to write Ryokishi, right? Names are hard, typing is hard. I have proven today that even reading and speaking are difficult too. So, no shame in that.
Today was one of the rougher days. Yeah.
Unless when Tifa makes typos, then always shame on. Need to drink more. I do not recommend it. Drink in moderation.
Well, I suggest we start drinking more now. Call it a night. You prepare for your road trip tomorrow.
I will not drink more. I had a double shot of that stuff. I'm not going to touch any more alcohol.
Oh, then you don't?
Yeah.
So serious face.
Let's get crunk, people. Let's get glonky up in here.
Jack's already drink.
No, actually not. Before I poured this, I actually did a smart thing, because I get drunk very easily. I ate a slice of cheese. Mm-hmm. Because alcohol and fat have antagonistic relationships that kind of neutralize each other.
Life hacks.
End of chapter 5, it's revealed to all be planned by Genocide Jill. I would be okay with that. Again, if it's written well.
I wish that was the end of Virtue's Last Reward.
Imagine if at some point, I don't know, another Danganronpa game comes out, another Zero Escape game, another Higurashi, and we play it, we read it, and it turns out it was actually every single visual novel ever shares the same universe.
I'm not sure how that would work, but sure.
Again, if it's written well. If not, then I'd be mad. Oh, well.
I don't think you can write that in well.
Yes, you can. Have you played Higurashi? It's really good, actually.
Yeah, that wouldn't really work.
Go press the button, Tifa.
Pressing.
Thank you everybody for Higurashiing with us. We'll be back on Sunday with more Higurashi. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.